morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi guys. Let's make sure that we're going. How is everybody this morning? Oh, we're a little flat over here. We need just a little bit of extra oomph. Oh, anyhow. Hi everybody. Now that I see myself in the picture, how's everybody today? Let's see. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, okay. It's thinking. There we go. How is everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. Looks like we've got some chat going on. If you are new, welcome. If you're new, my name is Lael Kankar, and I have a business called Lael by Mail. We get together here on my YouTube channel most Saturdays, and I'll talk about that in a second because we're going to make a couple adjustments later this month. But most Saturdays we get together, and we've been doing this since March of 2020 when COVID first hit. And we get together and we hang out a couple of hours. And when I say couple, there's a wide range of what that could be. If you've joined me before, you know what I mean. But we do something I like to call creative listing. So a couple days before, 1 to 2 days before, I publish 3 listing topics on my blog. I post an email. I post on social media, so it's really easy to find, but those topics that we are going to do on our Saturday session and some of the products that I'll be using. And then Saturday we get together and that's what we do. Now, some of you list with me. Others of you are doing all different kinds of things. Driving, well, you're not hopefully being creative while you're, well, you can be creative while you're driving, just as long as you're, thinking creatively and maybe not using your hands if you're the one driving. Some of you work on other projects. Some of you are working on your lists from either this week or past weeks. Some of you are cleaning the house or working. So through COVID, it was a great way for us to just kind of hang out and be social. And we're still kind of hanging out and being social. This is the one time that I give myself permission to play. My business is being creative. I do mini book kits, traveler's notebook kits, scrapbooking project kits, all different kinds of kits. Normally non-COVID times I'm traveling and teaching, and that's going to start up again later this month. But that's kind of what I do. So when it's your business and you still love being creative, even though it's your business, it's really hard to carve out time for yourself to be creative. And so that is what I like to do on our Saturdays. Is gives me a chance to play with different stamps and inks and all kinds of different products, and I just kind of go free and do what I want. So if it is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So nice to have you. There is a live chat that takes place over on the right-hand side of the screen. So as we get going, I'll start kind of reading a little bit of that and we'll start interacting a little bit. But that is a wonderful place to hang out. Super wonderful, amazing group of people that I've met through this whole process, and I think a lot of you have met too, and a lot of that happens through the chat because we're not in person. So if you are live and want to participate in that chat, even if you're kind of shy or don't normally like to pop in, I know a lot of you will tell me that you're lurkers, so you like to hang out, but you haven't really chatted. Even if you just pop in and say, hi, it's Susie, and I'm from Montana, I don't know, whatever you want to share. Super nice group of people. That's a great place if you have questions to ask your questions, but sometimes I will completely miss them. Probably every other week, my mom's like, oh, I popped in, did you see me? And I'm like, no. So the only way I can see her, the only way I can see you guys is through the chat. So if you've asked something and I've missed it, feel free to ask again. Sometimes if you put it in all caps, then when I glance up and look at the chat, then I might see it. If I don't respond to your chat or your comment, please, please, please don't be offended. It's not you, it's me. When I get working, I get super involved in what I'm doing because I like to be creative, and sometimes I completely miss all of that. So if you are watching live, those are all the things for live. If you're watching the replay, welcome, because I know we have lots of you that watch the replay, and I love it that you still hang out. You guys will email me and say, oh my gosh, it's been forever, and I'm so happy that I was able to watch the replay. Whether you watch live or whether you watch replay, I love that you're here. So thank you. If you are not watching live and you're watching the replay, do me a favor and leave a comment, because then I know you're here. A lot of times, well, not a lot of times, every week I do giveaways, and the giveaways happen in the comments on the video. So not the chat, but the comments on the video. Okay, let me take a quick break from the verbal diarrhea and just look at the chat so I have an idea who's here. Let's see. We have Lynette. Hi, Lynette, and Sarah, and currently Kate from Northern Virginia. Oh, Sarah said she got her December daily or December documented kit that I do. She can't wait to start. I'm going to talk about, we have a couple of housekeeping items, and that is one of the really quick things on the housekeeping list. So I will get there. Oh my gosh, Sheila is gallivanting around London in the moment. Catch you later. Sheila, I love that you just popped on to say hello. So enjoy London. Oh, such an amazing place. So much to see. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Lulu Girl. Oh yes, Lulu Girl. New Zealand? Australia. New Zealand, I want to say. They've been on lockdown, so Diane was asking if they're still on lockdown. This is what the cool thing is. I think most of you have never met in person, but you're starting to get to know each other through our regular Saturdays. So I love that you guys are interacting and asking, you know, how someone's doing with this or what happened last week with that. And it's just so cool. I know even a few of you have met up in person, which is so neat. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I don't want to lose track of my cord, but it's in the way because when we spin the camera, woo, when we spin the camera, I need to plug us in. So let's see. Hi, is it Barrett? Barrett from Sweden. Good afternoon. Wendy, San Diego. Sunny, Southern Oregon. Ginger, Oklahoma. Celia, Netherlands. Okay, hold on. I got to get closer. Cartini. I'm sure I totally butchered that. I apologize. From the Netherlands. Hi, Nancy, Illinois. Okay, Carla. Carla, Tigerwom, Oklahoma. I know I always mess that up. Colleen, just popping in for a minute. Oh yes, doing virtual crop and create card making. I'm sure that's amazing. Have fun. Hi, Jill from San Francisco. Okay, friends. So keep popping on. Keep saying hello. So everyone knows that you're here. Hi, Fiona. Carla, I know. It's because there's Carla and there's Carol. And well, I know there's more besides that, but the two of you, then Carol is Tiny Pumpkaboo. And I just remember that. Anyhow, so hi, Carla. I'm going to figure out a way to remember. All right, guys. So, oh, Karen's internet is lagging. Oh gosh, I hate that. Don't you? Well, yes. Catch us later. Okay, guys, a couple of housekeeping items. Well, first, let's do the fun part. Well, it's all fun, but let's do one of the fun things. I always do a giveaway every week, and the way that you participate in the giveaway, if you'd like, I ask you to leave me a comment on the video. So after the video is done, to come back and just leave a quick comment. Excuse me. Generally, that comment is tied to one of our list topics. So last week, one of the things that I asked you to leave me a comment on, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what it was. Let's look at, oh, I know, if I won the lottery. Yes, that was a fun one. If you won the lottery, what was something that would be on your list of things to do? So reading through those comments this morning, the random person, and I just randomly, literally, I go like this, and wherever my finger stops, that is the person that wins randomly. And the winner of our prize last week is Sandy Arnold. So Sandy, if you're on, congrats. If not, I always will reply to your comment and let you know that you've won. So there we go. So last week, our little prize last week was from my friend Andy. And Andy is the one that does our List It stamps. So that's a little prize pack with a stamp, a pin, and a sticker of her little sloth friend, her logo, and I can't remember her little mascot, and I cannot remember what his name is. Anyhow, so that is Andy, my friend Andy. Now, this is Lael. Funny, right? Look what I did. You guys most of you have seen this, but I loved what she just did so much with her little bag. She also designed Scatter for me. That I did the same thing. So for this week, we'll be doing a Lael prize pack, a little canvas bag, and some little goodies in there. Sloopy, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Saw that. Sarah, thank you. Sloopy. Yes, yes, yes. Andy's so fun. Anyhow, in this little prize pack for me, you have the Scattered Thought stamp set. So that is our little mascot, Scatter the squirrel. And then we have a little pin because I loved, like I said, loved what Andy did. She helped me do these. Little sticker and a little pin. So that little prize pack this week, Let's tie that to which list? Oh, I know. Let's do this one. Oh, yeah. Okay. Because this helps me to get to know you guys a little bit better. One of our lists this week is it's what makes me me. But you're not going to tell me what makes me me, like Lael me. You're going to tell me what makes you you. So whether it's one of your traits, one of your personality traits, something that you're known for, maybe you make the most amazing banana bread ever. That could be what makes you moo. Makes you moo. Not what makes you moo. Let's not do that. I don't want to know what makes you moo. What makes you you. So after we're done today, I'll ask you guys as we get going, because I still want to know in the chat, because it's a great way for us to kind of interact too. But after we get going, I'll ask you to just circle back between the end of class today and then next week and let me know one of the things that would be on your what makes me me list if you were doing it. Even if you're not listing with us, you still know in your head one or two things that makes you you. So I'd love to know. Okay, let's see. Just looking at never mind. I'm like, why are we saying congrats to Sandy? This is one of the things that makes me me, friends. On my list, literally and figuratively, is blonde hair. So I'm like, what are we congratulating Sandy? Yeah, because Sandy won. Duh. Okay, let's see. Yes, Nancy. Good morning, Nancy. Things come out, you guys, I'm moo. Things just come out and we just roll with it, right? Okay, so that was the first thing, the giveaway. Next thing, we will not be getting together October 16th or October 23rd. So that's 2 weekends in a row. I will be traveling and teaching both of those weekends. So we will be off for 2 weeks. I will for sure update our year-to-date list of lists. So if you need to catch up, if there's any lists that you've missed, or if you're just joining and you're like, what is this all about? And you want some ideas for lists, I will update that and send it out prior to me not being here for 2 Saturdays. So, and I'll mention that again next week, that we will not be together the weekend of the 16th and the 23rd. So that's the first thing I want to mention. The second thing I wanted to mention, if you had purchased either the December documented project kit, my mini book project kit, and or the Boo Halloween mini book project kit, yesterday I went to send out the emails for those, for the classes, all the information about the live class that we do for those, if you purchased the kit. And as I was getting it ready, I went, oh my gosh, so I need to schedule those using the device, so the phone that I will be recording on. And I'm so glad I thought of this, because Monday, as in 2 days from now, as in October 4th, I have a brand new phone coming. And so I have to wait in order to schedule those until I have that new phone, because I will be filming those from that new device. So just hang tight. Both of the information, well, at least dates for both of these is on the website with those kits if you purchase them. But we're doing the Boo kit on October 12th, and we're doing the December documented kit on October 31st. And yes, I do realize that that is Halloween. It's a Sunday. We're going to do it Sunday afternoon. So we have plenty of time to do it. But in November, I'm traveling more. So really, that was the only weekend for us to do it. So just stay tuned, news at 11 on that one. The very last thing before we get going, those of you that have been waiting for the Holiday Traveler's Notebook Kit, I will have that up and ready for pre-order next week. Well, actually, depending on, I have to look at the schedule of everything that's getting kitted right now. So we'll probably start shipping tail end of next week. Anyhow, so stay tuned for that. And I think as far as my little list of things to talk about goes, I think that's it, guys. So let me take a quick look at the chat again really quick, and then we'll flip and get started. Oh, Jill. So hopefully, Jill. Oh, good. You got it. Got it. Oh, and so here's the thing. Nicole also answered Jill, and I love that. So if someone asks a question, and I haven't answered it yet, please feel free to answer, especially if it's about something that I'm doing or something that I'm using or how to find this or that or anything like that, because especially if I miss it, or sometimes I might see it a little bit after the fact. So I love that you did that. Thank you. Oh, Nancy, congrats on my new phone. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited. Well, it's a business expense because I don't know if you guys know, but when I film every week, I use my iPhone. And so iPhone, their newest, whatever version it is, has a much improved, they say, we'll see, video capability. So I'm really excited about that. And I just noticed somehow this morning, I have a case normally on my phone, but I always have to take it off in order to put it in the little device that holds the camera or the phone. So this morning I dropped it on the tile floor. Now the whole back of the phone is kind of cracked. So timing could not be better. Anyhow, and yes, investment, hello. It's amazing. I mean, technology, expensive, but also when you see what we can do with it, it's amazing. So very excited about that. Mona, okay, I just happened to see Mona. Mona is new, a first timer from Texas. So welcome, Mona. You can tell us where in Texas. I was actually born in Texas. Very, very, very far south in a town called Kingsville, which is almost as south as you can get. There was a naval base there and my dad was in the Navy. So I was born there. Oh yes, okay. Jen got her new iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's awesome. I'm so excited. That's what I ordered with a terabyte of storage because video takes a lot of room. Anyhow, very excited, but small fortune. It's crazy. Okay, Deer Park, Texas, next to Houston. Awesome. Well, welcome. And I'm so glad that you popped in the chat to say hello because I think that is great because now everyone knows you're here and can welcome you. All right, friends, I think we are ready to roll. If there is anything that I missed, and I'm just now kind of looking at the oh, Wendy got hers too. Not fair, you guys got yours before me. No, they're all, I know, whoa, what was that? They're all just shipping out, so exciting. Okay, friends, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and flip the camera. I'm gonna see if we need lights today. I live in Utah. It's a beautiful fall morning. It's probably low 60s, so I have the windows open, but I also wore a sweater today, and some of you were thinking, Lael, what are you thinking? Because I get hot flashes a lot. So if I don't use the lights, it'll be a little bit cooler. All right, Sheila from Maryland was also born in Texas. Look at all of us Texans, all three of us. I'm sure there are more. All right, let's see. Okay, really quick. Celia, I was on an 11, so it's been a little while. It's going to get transitioned over to Sam, our younger son, Samuel P. So he's looking forward to that, but he does not know yet that I've cracked the back. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, friends, so let's go ahead and flip the camera. You're going to get dizzy for one tiny second while I flip. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's interesting. A little bit, looks like a little bit blurry, yeah? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my internet connection, I hope. Because that is blurry. We don't like that. Oh, I think that's better, right? Okay. Sheila, you grew up in California. So yeah, I was born in Texas. We lived there 3 months. My dad was in the Navy, so we were from everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. And then we actually moved back when I was in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. And then we moved away for good because he got restationed at the same naval base. Okay. Okay, so, you know what? I think let's try it without the lights for a bit. Let me move that out of the way just so we get a little bit more light in. And if it starts to seem too shadowy to me, let's plug this guy in. If it starts to seem too shadowy to me, I will, there we go. I will turn those lights on, but. Okie dokie. Are we ready to go? How's everyone's week? Good? Hopefully good. Put this off to the side, put this off to the side. I always like to start out by taking a look at our lists from the prior week. Nancy said, hubby and I are both military and everyone in my family was born in a different province. That's fun. Hi, Karen. Oh, good. Spending time with your family. Good for you. Okay. So let's take a look at our lists from last week. Our first list that we did was favorite fall foods. And this one was, it just ended up that way. It was lots of experimenting, right? We did lots of experimenting with, hold on, just some things, right? And what I love when we do our Saturdays is, let me just do one quick thing, friends. It's going to get really blurry here because I'm going to clean the little lens real quick. Okay, let's see if that's any better. I think it's just me. Hi, Francis. Yeah, it might be my glasses, right? Yeah, might need to clean the glasses. Okay, so with this list, we did some experimenting. I used a brand new collection to me, a brand new company to me. Well, not necessarily new to me, but new to my website as far as products that I offer. A company called Pretty Little Studio, and so fun. Oh my gosh. This is really fun because later that day I was emailing back and forth with Melissa, who is the owner of Pretty Little Studio, and lots and lots and lots of things up our sleeves. I am so excited, you guys, for some of the things that coming. Anyhow, she told me that she was watching last Saturday. And I didn't know that she was. It just was kind of cool because we had a lot of fun with this collection called Indian Summer. And someone suggested I was going to stamp the title, and then I decided I really liked these Florence, that kind of blueberry Florence to go with the blue in the collection. And someone suggested the shadow is going to bug me, so lights are coming on. Here we go. Oh yes, much better. Not so yellow. Doesn't have the yellow cast. All right. Oh, it's funny, you guys. All of this, you would think that we'd be able, me and Scatter would be able to have this all ready to go ahead of time, but everything has to move around. So we're good. Oh yes. So I was going to ink with the title with one of the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide inks and in a blue. And then someone said, why don't you ink the edges? So we played around a lot with that. We talked about inking the edges of your papers and some different tools that you could use for that. A tool also meaning just the edge of the ink pad. So that was a fun one. Favorite fall foods. Always, always, always at the top of the list is the candy corn because, hello, yes. If you don't like candy corn, I'm sorry, we can't be friends anymore. Gosh, that's so weird. Anyhow, other two lists. One, things I would change if I could. And for me, that was related to me personally. Things that I could change about myself if I could. Now, what's so funny is everything on my list, there's nothing on here that I can't change. It's not like I was saying I wish I was Asian descent, right? Or any other nationality descent, because that would be really hard to change. Everything on my list is totally changeable. It's just how much time I want to spend changing it, and also in some cases how much money I want to spend to change. Like, I don't like my nose. I could have a nose job, right? I could have them fix the things I don't like. It's just whether or not I want to go to that time or expense or the pain, right? So that was fun. We used the Peaceful Heart collection on that one. As I'm working on my lists, I always in the description of the video down below, I link to the different products that I am using. So in some cases, I offer them on my website. In other cases, you can find them other places around the interwebs, and I've linked there as well. I always like to encourage you, if you have a local scrapbook store, to shop local, because it's really important that we support our local businesses and our local economies. But if you don't, or you only have that little big box store in your backyard, then you know where to find me. All right, our last list, if I won the lottery. And this is just one of those, you know what? If you won, what would you do? Lots of different things. So I made a really giant run-on list of things that I would do if I won the lottery. And in order to help make those little things stand out, I used a colored pencil, almost as a highlighter, right? So I just colored over, if you will, a couple of words in my list, just so it kind of breaks that up. But then also when you're looking at it, your eye can narrow down and focus on a couple of different things. So those, and this one I used a mixture of, the paper was also Peaceful Heart, washi Peaceful Heart, and then pulled in some stickers from Heidi Swaps. Totally drawing a blank what that collection is. It is this one. And I took it out of the packaging. And so, totally drawing a blank, whatever it's called. Anyhow, all those products are linked in the description of last week. Oh my gosh, yes it is. Okay, cover that up for a sec. We gotta wait there. We have to wait. I know. Do you believe that? Hi, Leslie. Yes, that is a picture of me in the swimsuit. From many years ago, after I'd been doing CrossFit for, I don't know, about 2.5 years, and had lost a lot of weight and was also very, very, very toned, and I could wear a bathing suit in a picture for Halloween, but it wasn't like, well, you'll just see in a minute. I'll talk about that one in a minute. Okay, so let's move on to our lists for today. It is the first Saturday of the month, and you know what that means, right? The first Saturday of the month, the very first list that I always do is something called About Last Month. That is my way of kind of memory keeping the day-to-day things that happen on a monthly basis. I started doing this over a year ago, and I have now done it every month for the last year plus. And I found, thank you, Diane Carefree, there we go. I found this is a really good way for me to capture all the little details that really wouldn't get captured anywhere else. So real quick, as a rewind, let's find... this was last month, and this is basically exactly what I do every month. And I use the same exact format. So I have a 2-page spread. Over on the right, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos, and then some fun product. Over on the left, I always do same title, About Last Month, and then I do a run-on list and use a couple of square letter stickers to pull out some of the words. And that is the format that I have been doing, like I said, a little over a year. The way that I remember all of the things that happened, a couple ways. Number one, I keep a running open note on my phone. And as things happen, I just go in and add it. And I add everything. If I went to Trader Joe's and got flowers, I put it in there. If I went to TJ Maxx, I put it in there. If we went to a concert, I put it in there. Then at the end of the month, I can decide what goes in that list. But I don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about it because it's already in my note. I also then go to my camera roll and look at different pictures I have taken throughout the month. Then I also go to Google. So sometimes there may be things that I don't remember. So I might Google, what happened in the month of September. And that could be in my city, my town, my state, our country, the world, what have you. So it's kind of a big mismatch of all of those things. So about last month for September. I will be using products from the Simple Vintage Country Harvest collection again. This one, you guys, oh my gosh. So if you haven't seen that, I used that a couple weeks ago for this spread. This was things I'm looking forward to this fall. And it is such a beautiful fall collection for those of you maybe that live in like California, Southern California, and do not really experience fall. You can still use fall products. You'll just be maybe listing about things that you like about fall, even if you don't have kind of the traditional fall change of the leaves and colors and temperatures and things like that. So I thought I would also pull this out really quick. This is a virtual class I taught last night for a store in Minnesota called Firefly Farm, but I used the same collection, and this was a layout. So it gives you really good idea for the collection and the colors. Last Sunday, we haven't, you know what? And we haven't had a chance to talk about this yet. Last Sunday, Nick and I, so my husband Nick and I, went on a drive and to see the fall leaves here in Utah. So these are photos from that little drive. We're doing the same thing again tomorrow. Different place, but I can't wait because I love fall, love the change in color. And in Utah, we get a really cool, we get there's a lot of aspen trees. So aspen trees don't really go the orange and the red, they go to the yellows. So you can see like the yellow, that yellow, like crazy incredible, the yellows. But then there's a lot of other trees where you get the nice oranges and the reds and those trees. So yeah, we have beautiful fall here in Utah, but that is Simple Vintage Country Harvest. A lot of that sold out and then I reordered. So I've linked to that in the description video if you think, ooh, I kind of like that collection, I want to play with it. Alrighty. So let's pull out product from my little pouch. Oh, you know what I'm going to do today too? I just reordered. I order these pouches from Amazon because this is how I like to store my product as I'm working with it. These little pouches are little, I don't know, probably 9 by 12, and they're just a little zipper pouch. So while I'm working with a collection, when it's still kind of whole, I put everything from that collection in that pouch. And then it makes it really easy when I know I want to work with that, then I just grab that little pouch. But I just ordered a bunch more. So I think what I'll do is, see, look at, just ordered a bunch more. Oopsie. I will, with this week's giveaway, I'll add a couple of those in too, to whoever wins that. Those, well, all the things I use, the tools, the storage, all of that, you find linked in the description of the video as well. But that's what really works for me. Okay, so I had all this organized last time I used this, but I didn't organize it this morning. Probably because, well, I had Halloween organized because that's what I'm going to be using next. Oh, because I was teaching last night, and then after that, Nick and I had dinner, and then we sat out on our back patio because it was beautiful fall night, and we had the little fire going, and it was gorgeous. All right. One of the things I love the most about this collection, the teal in it. The teal is so pretty. I think though, I might steer towards some of like the yellows and the oranges, not so much the pumpkins and things yet, because we're really not quite there. For me, that's a little bit more October. So as I'm just separating things, just kind of looking at what I might use. Happy fall, y'all. Maybe a couple of leaves. Okay, let's see. Oh, I like this one. I really like this, the little stamp. Really what I should do is separate, well, now it's probably a little bit too late, but should have separated the fall looking things from the kind of more late summer, Indian summer type things, and that'd make it a little bit easier. Even though, look at, you even have some leaves in there that are still a little bit more on the green side as opposed to the, ooh, love that one, as opposed to the little orange side. All right, so let's get those. Ooh, so much, I tell you. Good stuff, good stuff. Ooh, leaves, that might be fun. All right, so there we go. Let's get all these little things now out of the way. Those of you that like your vintage trucks, I mean, love that, right? So, so good. So, so good. Mona, you can find those. So in the description of the video, I have many links, and in there is a little storage area. So different things I use for storage, and you will find it linked there. One thing about the links, you guys, for some reason, links don't work for some of you. Some of you fine, some of you not so fine. And we don't know why. We have no idea why. Maybe your browser settings or something like that. But if you copy and paste the links into a new browser window, then they'll open, no problem. Alrighty, so there we go. I will leave the stickers out as well because I think we'll probably use some stickers in there too. Alrighty, so the base, as I mentioned, on the right side is always, always, always a 4x6 photo with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos. I use the Epson PictureMate PM400. That is the most awesome, awesome, awesome printer. That gets linked in the description of the video below as well. There is a free app with that printer that you can download from the App Store, whether you're on Apple or Android. And that's what I use to make my collages. like this. So that printer prints in 3.5 by 5, 4 by 6, and 5 by 7. So this is a 4 by 6, and in my next list, I will be using a 5 by 7. But these little collages, they're just pre-designed templates. So even though this is a 4 by 6 photo, it's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2 by 2 photos, which is cool because if you want to use it as a 4 by 6 photo like this, as I do, then that's great. But if you want smaller photos, you could really come in and just cut out all those little photos. So that app is called the Epson Creative Print. Yeah, Epson Creative Print app. Super easy to use. All right, so that's what I always like to do over on the right-hand side. So let's look at, and the reason I do 5 instead of 6 is I like to add a little bit of product right here, right? It's fun to do a little bit of decoration. When I picked these photos, now some of these photos, well actually only one of these photos is mine. So let's talk about that for a minute. This photo right here is one that I took last weekend on our drive. These other photos are not mine. They are photos that I grabbed from Google. So one of the things that we did last month, I went with a couple girlfriends to the Kenny Loggins concert, which was amazing. Now, I was not that close to him. So that's a really good photo. And I wanted a photo that was kind of up close. So all I do is go to Google and I search for Kenny Loggins Red Butte concert. And then there's all kinds of images. So I just right click on that image from my phone, save it, saves it right to my camera roll. Then it's a photo like any other photo in my camera or on my phone. And then I just can work with it however I'd like. So my best friend photographer when I can't take a picture is Google, because you'll find pretty much anything you need. All right, so I put purposefully this photo here when I placed the photos, this photo here in the lower left-hand corner, because I thought, I know I'm going to put product right here and I know what collection I'm going to use. So probably a good idea to put that fall one right there, because then whatever I put here just kind of works its way right into that. Sheila, no, not yet. Sheila said, did you do a video lesson on how to use the printer and app? I have not. I will put that back up to the top of my to-do list because I really need to do that. All right, so that could go there. Now I'm not really worried that it is covering up part of that photo. That's a photo of someone's refrigerator. Not my refrigerator, but that's what our refrigerator looks like these days, and I'll talk about why. So that could maybe go there. Let's see. So many good things. Maybe that. If I do that, those two together, then I need, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, no, that's a little bit more weedy than I think I want to go for right now. So let's pop this back up here a tad. And I don't know, this one, I think it's this one maybe. Although those are both kind of the same height, although not really. So let's just play. Let's just put a couple of other things in here. Nope, too much. If we just overlap these and maybe hide a little bit more of the butterfly, because I don't really need 2 butterflies, right? That could work. And then I'll put a little thing right there. All right, before I adhere anything yet, I want to do washi. I always like to do a strip or 2 of washi right here. So this is the washi that coordinates with the collection. Well, actually, it's part of Simple Vintage Country Harvest. So those are 3 little rolls that are part of the collection. Ooh, okay. Really quick segue, really quick squirrel moment. Simple Stories has announced a number of new collections this week, which I have already on order. A couple project kits coming with them. But one thing, and I'll have the the product for sale in my store like I always do. But one really cool thing, they have changed how they're doing their washi. Traditionally, they've offered 3 rolls in a 3-roll pack. Now they're changing it to 5. Price point is still really good, but 5 washi patterns now to work with instead of the 3, which I love. All right, so let's just look. I need one more contrasting because I want something a little bit more neutral. So I think it's going to be that guy. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, Lynette just ordered a printer. It should be delivered today. Lynette, you will love it, love it, love it. Super easy to use. In the meantime, since I don't have a video up yet, someone does maybe, but if you have questions after you've kind of played around with it a bit, just email me and I'll be happy to just kind of give you a pointer or two. Oh yes, that's good. I wish that Echo Park still made this washi. All right, always like to do, oh look it, I'm in the very center of my insert. I know that because I can see the little staples. All right, so about last month, those of you that are listing, what's on your list? What is on your list for about last month? What'd you do? Big, little. Let me go in real quick with where is it? Where'd that go? I must have put it away, of course, as soon as I put it away. Then I need it. Hang on. Let me just grab what I need. I need a little X-Acto knife. But where's the one that's protected? It must still be in there. It's just that I can't see it. I'm not seeing it. I want to now separate this. And this probably is like butter knife. Yeah, that just needs to get replaced. Where, oh where? Yeah, no, don't know what to do with it. All right, I'll find it later. Can only get simple stories in craft. Karen, I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean there. Oh, what brand are your journals? Aha. So the inserts that I use are Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem, Simple Stories used to own Carpe Diem. And they are only in craft. Now, what I do, I slip cover my inserts. So I cover them, but I don't do that while I'm working on them throughout the month, just because they get way too just kind of roughed up. Let me just, anyhow, I slip cover them with pattern paper. So to me, it doesn't really matter what the cover looks like, because I, at the end, customize the cover to what I want it to be. But yes, their covers are only in craft. There are others that I have on my website from other companies that are in other colors besides craft. So you can take a look. Or, anywhere. All right, there we go. It's time to adhere this guy. One of the things that we talked about last time I used this collection is that it's kind of one of those collections that has a little bit of a split personality. And I like it when that happens. I like it when manufacturers design that way. And we already kind of saw that when I started breaking apart some of the things that were a little bit more fall-y. So this collection you could use for fall, you could use it for pumpkin patches, you could use it for hay rides, different things like that. You could split out some of the pumpkin pieces and use specifically for Halloween, but then you also kind of have this late summer, Indian summer kind of vibe going as well. So I like it when our collections do that for us. As crafters, I like it when that happens, because then we get a little bit more usability out of our products. All right, let's go ahead and add these down. 52nd birthday, 25th wedding anniversary, new car, visit to Prince Edward Island in New Brunswick. My mom gave me her old V. Oh my gosh, RV. Nancy, you are on it. You had an awesome month. But see, you guys, that is this type of memory keeping for me, especially as now our kids are older, we're empty nesters. It's a lot easier for me to document kind of the day-to-day this way. So Nancy has her list, right? She just whipped them all off. It's just kind of a fun way to say, yep, this is what happened this month. This is what happened this month. Then the very first Saturday in January, we actually do two lists. One is about last month for December, but then one is about last year. And then you make one spread again, but it's for your entire year and photos. And then it's really easy to remember what happened in the year because you just go back to each of the lists from the past months. And then you have your kind of year in review. So that's kind of, actually, I don't want to use that. Let's use our glue pen, especially when we get down to some of these little edges. Glue pen, when you are working with die cuts that have lots of little edges, it's kind of nice to get all those little edges so they don't lift later. Let's see what else. Somebody said their daughter modeling Italy. That sounded really cool. Oh, Tracy, the 21st day of the 21st month of the 21st year of the 21st century. Holy cow, that needs to go on my list, right? That's really cool. Actually, let's layer this under here. That wasn't even on my list. So I love it. I will add that to my list for sure, because that's one of those cool things that, you know, that doesn't happen every day. In fact, that happens once a century, right? Wasn't really thinking, was doing too much talking. Need to slide this under a bit. Things are going to get a little messy while I do that. Come on, lift up, lift up. Oh, no, I'm lifting up the photo. All right, bear with me. Wow, I'm sure if I had just tried to pull the whole thing off, it would have worked much better. It would have been much more effective than trying to just peel and go. All righty. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Bereth had her youngest granddaughter here. Her mother did a photo modeling job in Italy. Oh, very cool. Mona just asked a great question. Let's talk about this. So Mona said, do you list the things that happened that were not good in your last month? So Mona, one of my favorite sayings is you do you. If it's something you want to add to your list, then you should. From my perspective, kind of life happens. And as we're documenting, right, as we're recording our memories, as we're documenting, for me, I do. My dad earlier this summer was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and that went on my list because that is part of, you know, what happened in the month. So I do add things that were good and maybe not so good, but some people don't. It's up to you. If you want to keep things sunshine and rainbows, then you should. If you want to document kind of everything, then you should. Now, this one, for example, last month, was the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Now, 9/11 happens every year, but this particular 9/11, thank goodness it doesn't, right? So that was the 20th anniversary of the the very significant terrorist attacks on our country here in the U.S. So that is part of what's on my list. Another thing that's on my list, and this is definitely not the good. Well, okay, I'm not going to say that right now. I'm going to leave that. I won't mention what that is because that gets into a little bit of my own viewpoints, and I don't want to my own political viewpoints, and I don't want to I don't like to talk about those when we do this. So, but things that happen, things that are happening in the world that make the news, and in a lot of cases the news isn't you know, not a lot of good. So I'll leave it at that. There you go. Jeanette said she put in 3 memorial services for old friends she attended in 1 month. Kylie says she lists all the things good and bad, teach us lessons, even the bad things need to be remembered. Photographed, okay. Yeah. If it's something important, okay, yes. So I think yes. Some people do, some people don't, up to you. And, you know, if you decide to start documenting this way, it may be that over time you, you know, you start to fall into what it is that you want to document. So if you're not super comfortable yet, maybe documenting some of those things, then don't. And then as you continue to work through it, you know, you can add that later. All right, like that there. And we will cut that part of that off of the top. Boy, for all the teal I talked about, like, oh yeah, I've got a little teal in there. We need some more teal though. I just love the pop of teal in this collection. It's just, I think, so pretty. All right, so my die cuts now are all pretty much a larger scale. And I don't have a ton of room, so other things I want to pull in, I'd like to be smaller scale. So that's when I move to the sticker book. So same kind of general idea, but smaller scale, right? So smaller little embellishments, smaller hearts. This is also where you get word strip stickers, some alphas, and I'll probably, I don't know, I may use one of these alphas over here. Some nice leaves, so maybe, oh, I'll leave leaves for over here. I need something to go right there, and I'd like to pull in, oh yes, this will go here. Pull in a little bit of teal. All those nummy pumpkins. And I love them that they're like the really cool pumpkins with the stems, like the crazy stems. All right, I feel like we need a little butterfly. So let's do that butterfly right about there. So it just kind of helps to fill in that white space. All right, so from there, I'm going to leave this side as it is. Really quick, let's talk about something though that happens every so often. Your photos that you choose to include, if you are including photos, and that's another thing. You could do this list. You don't even have to use photos. Maybe you just have a list every month, a running list. Maybe it's even just a running list on your phone like I talked about. And that is the list of things that happened in a month. And that's just kind of, you're just journaling, and it doesn't have to be fancy. You're just listing the different things that happened, and you may just leave it at that. But still, you are memory keeping because you are kind of recording the different things that happened. Whether you use photos or not, that's up to you. Every once in a while, the colors in my photos will be so off from whatever it is that I'm documenting. That usually happens in the spring. Because I'm using a lot of pastel colors in my list in decorating, and then the photos aren't necessarily pastel. So every so often, I will just turn all my photos to black and white. Then everything kind of blends in a little bit more. I'm not too worried about this because when I was looking for photos, I already had the blue here in my photo, and I knew I was using blue in some of the products, so I knew that would kind of work. So then I looked for other photos, like the blue sky here, the blue in the lights for the towers, and then the oranges. I knew I had the oranges here. I found a refrigerator photo of food, lots of vegetables in there. So I kind of, as I was looking for photos, knew the product I was going to use, so it wouldn't be too off. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I love what Jen suggested. And Kylie. So let's talk about both of those things. So Jen suggested she uses another planner-ish kind of thing. I won't go into that. But her Hobonichi to journal maybe some of those things that are more personal. Maybe if you have health issues and you are recording that, you may decide to do that in something different. Kylie also talked about hide the journaling for those in a pocket. So real quick, let's take a look at what something like that might look like. There's one. So this was a spread that I did back in May, Mother's Day, and things that I like about my mom. And I made a little pocket over here. Now this, let's pull that out. Look at, there I am, my little girl and my mom. So that pocket, that's an example of something that you might do if you want to maybe hide some of those things. You don't want them to necessarily be so obvious. You could do your journaling in there and tuck it in the pocket, or even make like a little card that folded, and on the inside of the card, tuck it in your pocket. There is another way that you could do that, and it's on my list of things to kind of go over. It's what I kind of had showed a technique in the fall issue of the Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. Of doing a waterfall with some cards so that your journaling could be on the card when you flip up, but you don't necessarily see it from the top. So love those suggestions, guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keeps the nosy Nellies away too. Right. So one last thing on that, Mona. You won't see me necessarily in my lists write a lot of super personal things, just because you guys see everything I put in my list, and it's all over my social media and things like that. So I don't get super personal in my list. If I wanted to get super, super personal, I'd do that in another spot. But doesn't mean I don't do it. It's just, yeah. All right, so there we go. Now I want to move over to this side. So I always start over here with the month. And for this year, well, actually for now the last year and a half, I have been using the same alphabet sticker. So it is this sans serif font from Simple Stories. Some of their sticker books have that font. Generally, what you see me do is I pull out these guys. They're alpha sticker books that now come in like every color possible, coordinate with all their collections, which is really nice. So if I didn't, I don't know, let's see, because if I didn't want to use that, I have that fall set. So I don't know, let's look. Because maybe we'll use yellow, because you know how much I love yellow. Anyhow, so with their sticker books, and these on my website as well, you always have 6 different colors and 2 sheets per color. Hello, that would be 12. 3 alphabets, 3 different size alphabets per color. Even if I'm using these from the sticker book that goes with the collection, I generally always will pull out these as well, because when we looked at my August version, I like to do the little square stickers here. So I have those in here. But also, depending on the collection, because they don't always do this, also have one other color in there. That's the format that I have been doing for the last probably 18 months or so. I will be switching it up for 2022, and there will be like I did last year, a year in review Traveler's Notebook kit and class where you'll have everything you need to do your full year. So orange, I think I'm going to save orange for next month, for this month, but for next month, October. You guys know me. You know me. It's going to have to be this. It's going to have to be this guy. Now, September is really long. You know what I want to see really quick? Bear with me while I find, not that one. No, that's February. Bear with me while I find it, guys. I just want to see what I did last September. Nope, that's July. Okay, there's lots of these. There are lots. Okay, where are we? August. Okay, probably here. September. Okay. So, look at, used the same washi. All right, so for September, I did spell it out. But I think what I did, all of these as I pulled out really quick, I have done flip through videos now, I think for 3 of these. These are all, I think there's 1 or 2 more of the lists that we've done over the last year and a half. So you can find flip through videos of those here on my YouTube channel. I also link them in the description of the video. So what I did, normally I use, I think, the larger size alpha, but in this case, I'm going to go to the smaller size for my title, since September is so long. Alrighty, so when I work with alphabet stickers, I always will pull out my little ruler. This is a little 6-inch metal ruler that's on my website, but I like to use a ruler to line up my stickers for a couple of reasons. Grab my little reverse grip tweezers here. One of the reasons I like to do that is that I can line them up all on one of these little lines on the ruler. So if I line all my letters up, they will be fairly even. Now, some of you will go, well, wait a minute, Lael, why do you even do that? Because you have lines here on your Traveler's Notebook insert. You'll see in a minute why. My other reason for using a ruler. I like to use a smaller ruler. That's why I use a 6-incher when I'm working in my Traveler's Notebooks, because not as long, so a little bit easier to work with in that smaller space. The size inserts that I use, they're called standard wide. Standard is 8.25 inches tall by about 4.33 wide, and that is a standard. Standard wide, the width increases. It's like the RV, that little part bumps out, right? Standard wide is 5 inches wide. So that's the size of the inserts that I use. I have the inserts on my website. But I have both standard and standard wide. So as I start to spell my title, this is the other reason why I like to use a ruler. Because not only can I make sure that they're straight, I can also, as soon as I get my letter or my words, all the rest of my letter stickers to spell my word on the ruler, I can move it back and forth to make sure that I get it relatively centered or placed where I want. Maybe this time I decide, wait a minute, what if I go right here along this side? Well, I could do that. I won't. But that's again where my ruler comes in handy to help me decide where I want it. Or do I want it over here or down here or over there? So that's why I like to use my ruler. September. Mona, I love that you're asking questions because I've been like doing this same format now for so long. Sometimes I forget to explain part of the why. So I love that. But also I think that when you guys ask questions, everybody benefits September, because sometimes other people are thinking the same thing. They just don't ask, right? You're like, why in the world does she do that? And sometimes it's because you want to know, but sometimes really you're like, what in the world is wrong with her? Like, why in the world would she ever do that, right? Two different why would she do that? Why is she doing that? September. All right. Okay, one more E. We're almost there. Melissa asked a great question. She said, does anyone know if the website has an updated list of lists? I am so behind and have forgotten so many. Great question. Yes. So my blog hasn't updated through July. Within the next week to 10 days, I will be updating through September. But I also have links to the updated list of lists here in the description of the video. I always include that in the description of all of the videos, so it's really easy to find. And those are just things that you can download. They're a PDF. I don't remember if you download actually, I think it takes you to my blog, and then from there you can download the PDF. But I have one for all of 2020 of the list with me live list topics, and then I usually do the current year, so 2021 I do that quarterly. Okay, let me put this away, and I just want to go back to August really quick. So I did this, gets started 1 2 3 4 5 6, sixth line down. 1 2 3 4 5 6. The nice thing about doing the same layout design every month for a year, now it's a year plus, is that no thinking, right? I don't have to think at all. And sometimes you don't want to have to think, right? There's something nice about having a continuity, because my lists are all over the place, right? Some are 2-page, some are 1-page. Sometimes I use a lot of products. Sometimes I don't use very much product at all. Sometimes it looks like more of a scrapbook page. Other times it's more of, just like a list. Anyhow, whatever it is. But it's nice when a list has the same topic from month to month to have the same or similar layout. Like I said, it also is a no-brainer. It makes it super easy for me to do and not really think about, because I always know exactly what I'm doing. Because sometimes there's pressure, right? Sometimes there's pressure for us to come up with a new idea or to make something look new or different. So no pressure here. Well, at least for me. Until it comes time to design the whole new format. And this is just my format. I know a lot of you do this format too, because it's what I do and it works, and we've kind of had fun with it. But new format coming for 2022 along with the kits. All right, so next thing I do, I always write about last month. Right up here. I think I've hinted to the fact that next year we will have some new maybe stamps for some of this stuff that we do on a regular basis. Well, not next year. I'll have it later this year, but anyhow. Teresa said, what size photo paper is that? Teresa, that's 4x6. A plain old Jane old 4x6. Okay, let's see. Okay, keep going. Diane, if I missed you, welcome. Hi. All right, so, oh yes, next thing. I always outline. And that is my way of basically framing the page. This outlining, I've converted lots of folks to my way of framing, right? I always freehand it. I'll talk in a sec about what just happened. I always freehand, and I always use my Sharpie. I go through Sharpies like crazy because I use them for everything. These I also have on my website. I mean, you can find them anywhere, but these I have on my website. It's just a super fine tip Sharpie. And I like that it's permanent, but it's also a fine tip. All right, so I always outline. If you look at my list, you will see that I always outline. Even, this is funny, even going back to this, the layout that we looked at earlier using that same collection, look, outlining. This one, I did use a ruler, but normally I don't. All right, so one of the things that just happened there while I was working, see what happened? The little signatures, so the pages came out. Do you see that? The page came out, and it just came out up at the top and not at the bottom. What happened is, and it's nothing wrong with the insert, and it's nothing that I did to make that happen, other than adding a lot of product. So your traveler's notebooks, or your inserts, I should say, depending on where you're getting them, how they are bound, usually a couple of different ways. These are bound with staple. And generally, no matter what you do, unless you have a 12-foot long staple, that is going to happen because the more and more that I add, the more and more it is going to start to put stress on the staples, right? Because my pages are getting higher and higher and higher, and our little staples can only do so much. And it's not the staple that's failing. Really what happens, and look, I just completely pulled it out of the book itself. It's the papers. So they just tear a little bit where the little staples are and they come out. That's okay. That happens almost to every single one of the traveler's notebooks I use. And this is why. Let's look at a brand new one. Here's a brand new insert. Look at how skinny and flat that is, right? Now, look at what happens to one that is completely full, right? So that is inevitable. You're loading that thing full and it is just a stress point. So generally what I do, and I don't do this until the very end, after I am done with an insert, I will come back in and do this. So I take a piece of pattern paper, I make it slightly larger than the cover. Did I finish that one? I did. It's a little raw. But I stitch it. Don't mind that right there. I think I was in a big hurry. Clearly, anyhow, don't mind that. Just looking to see, hang on. Okay, let's look at this one. This one's going to be a better example. All right, so paper is slightly larger than the insert when it is full. So I wouldn't recommend doing this until it's full. Unless you're making your own inserts entirely, then that's a whole other thing. But I pull off that craft cover. That's why to me it doesn't really matter what the cover looks like. So I pull off the craft cover. I have taken a 12 by 12 piece of paper, cut it slightly larger so that the insides don't stick out from the cover. And then I take a blunt tipped needle, some string, and then I stitch. So there's one, I don't know, maybe about 3/4 of an inch apart. And I just hand stitch that and then knot, and then that is now nice and tight and good. So if your inserts are doing that, nothing wrong with what you're doing. That just means your inserts are well used and well loved. And at the end, you can stitch those. I do have a video here on my YouTube channel where I have, I've actually covered it a couple times. And maybe when we get done with this insert, I'll do it again, of how I do that. If you go, it's, oh my gosh, it's probably like in April or May of 2020, and it is, the video is called How to Make Your Own Inserts. So we talk about how you can, buy an insert like this to start with, or how you can just start from scratch and make your own inserts entirely. And then I go through that stitching process. Okay, so now what I do, now I've got inserts everywhere. Here, there, everywhere. Here an insert, there an insert, everywhere an insert, insert. That's Old MacDonald Had a Farm. In case you were wondering, in case it sounded familiar and you were not sure what that little jig was. Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Okay, Teresa, you're good, hon. No worries. I know people come and go all the time. So if you have a question and you're popping in the middle, please don't be afraid to ask whatever the question is, because you don't know if it's been asked or if I've mentioned it before or not. All right, so here, now I usually start my listing. And then once I'm done with my list, I will come and maybe do a little bit more decorating. So I have my little cheater list right here, because I have to have my cheater list ahead of time, or else I won't be able to think of things on the fly. The only thing that I need to remember, really, as I am doing this, is I usually like to highlight 4 or 5 different words with alpha stickers, the little square stickers, 1, 2, 3, 4 in that case, just to help kind of break up all of that kind of run-on list, right? Okay, so what happened last month? Actually, I think in this one, I'm going to do this sometimes, especially since this is kind of a longer word. I just want to break up that a little bit like that now from my journaling. And you know what? That guy, I'm going to pick a different one, because that guy is well used and well loved. Eventually the little nibs on your pens, right? Like anything, will start to, I have many of these. There we go. That's a good one. Those need to get retired soon or put into the kitchen for making grocery lists. Kathy, I have used the new Sharpie gel pens. I have them somewhere. Oh, which reminds me, I'm going to pull this guy out too, real quick. Let me see. Oh. Could you guys hear that? About half of that is gone. It just is on the floor now. The Sharpie gel pens. So yes, I did try them right after they came out. I'm just gonna grab that one out now too. Maybe we'll do a quick little, hang on. Oh, there it is. We'll just do a quick little side by side. I don't know. I always just go, the regular Sharpie is kind of my thing. To me, the Sharpie gel pen, and it's beautiful. It writes beautifully. It's more like reminds me a little bit more of a ballpoint pen. So it's a little bit kind of more scratchy to me, if that makes sense. But still has the same properties of a regular Sharpie, in that it's going to be permanent, and then it's also super fine. And I like super fine when I'm writing. And then this right next to it would be the Sharpie regular pen. And that is kind of, you probably won't be able to see because we're not going to be able to see well enough, but probably for all intents and purposes, the same thing, but this guy, that's my guy. One thing, and I'll show you this one really quick. I need to, let me just grab a photo. Let's see, from here. This is, I've talked about this a couple times, and I just brought them in. I just added them to the website yesterday. That is a photo signature pen. What that means is you can write on a photo with that pen. It's specially designed to write on slick surfaces. So CDs, DVDs, photos. And sometimes well, let's see how I'm going to do this, because I'll just use this. Oh, you know what? I think this guy's dried out because he's been in my stash for a while. Hang on. He is not one of the new ones that just arrived. There we go. Now, these you don't want to use on paper. You only want to use on a slick surface. So, beautiful sunset. So if you've ever wanted to write on your photos and had a hard time finding what to write with, this little guy, that Zig photo signature. And those are under the what's new on my website, as we're talking pens for a minute. Okay, this type of pen, your white pens, like if you have a white pen, generally, and I use this one a lot, so it ends up getting put in however I put it. But if you don't use them very often, it's a good idea to store your pens like that upside down so that that ink is always flowing with gravity and not, it's kind of like the ketchup bottles. You know how they redesigned so the ketchup would always be flowing so you didn't have to, you know, pound the bottle. Okay. Gosh, I totally segued there, didn't I? Totally squirreled. All right, so now that this is out, let's just keep it out and keep working on it. Remind me not to slip and fall on the pens that are all over the floor. Okay, here we go. So what happened last month? Bunko. That pretty much happens every month in our neighborhood. Swiss Days. So Swiss Days is there is a town, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes from us called Midway, and it is has a lot of Swiss roots. So the first weekend in September every month, they do this really cool thing called Swiss Days, and I like to go to that. Although last year there was no Swiss Days because of COVID. We went to a concert for. There is a local, like 80s throwback band called the Spasmatics. Oh my gosh. So I was in high school in the 80s, 86 through 90, I guess, whatever, 86 through whatever, 86 through 89. So that 80s music I love 80s music because it's total throwback. My kids now call that the oldies. One day we was driving in the car with our younger son, Sam, who's almost 21, and one of his friends. We were going to a soccer tournament. I mean, a lacrosse tournament. And Sam said, "Hey, Mom, let's listen to some oldies." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I'm thinking, and his friend said, "Oh, I've got oldies on my iPad. Or my iPhone. We'll plug it in." I'm like, "Okay." And I'm thinking, "Oh, oldies, like what I would consider oldies. Like, oh, the Beach Boys and things like that." Yeah, no. The 80s music, or the oldies music's come on. Let's try that again. The oldies music comes on and it is the 80s. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm officially old. Like the music I listened to when I was in high school, now the kids are calling it the oldies. Ay, 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 ay. So Spasmatics, like a throwback 80s band. Oh, that was so fun. We went to a wedding reception for the son of my husband, Nick, one of his friends that he's known since second grade. Also the man whose business our younger son, Sam, works for. Oh, yes. So Sam, speaking of, moved out again. He's been in and out, COVID and then college and then COVID and then, was with us because he didn't plan very well in trying to move out and gave up his old place before he had a new place. So anyhow, long story short, he's moved into a new apartment. Our friends had their annual Labor Day barbecue. So I think I'm going to now take the words Labor Day, and make those stand out using little stickers. I'm using that fall set. Lauren said, "I definitely cringed the first time the classic rock station played my favorite music from college." Debbie's a true oldie, graduated in 83. Yes, my son called my music vintage. Isn't that so funny? Joanne graduated in 89. So let's see. Is that when okay. I think I graduated in 89 too, right? Joanne, did you start in 86? No. Oh gosh, no. I'm such a dingling. I graduated in 86. What am I saying? I graduated in 86, not 89. Ay. Look at me trying to make myself younger than I am. Graduated in 86. That's why I'm like, I should know that. Why don't I know when that year was? Yeah. Oh, Labor Day. No, not R. I don't know where the R came from. Labor Day. These stickers have been a staple for my About Last Month kind of layouts since I started doing them, both that one and this one, just because that's how I've just kind of designed it. It's funny, when the very first month I did About Last Month, I didn't even cross my mind that it'd be something that I'd be doing every month. I thought, oh, this would be kind of a fun list. And then after I did the first one, I'm like, you know what? Duh, I should be doing this every month. And I did, and that's how it was born. Okay, so now it's going to be interesting. Sometimes when you don't plan things out very well, I have labor. I'm going to have to make day like really jammed together because I don't want to just put labor there. As I mentioned before, when you're using stickers like this, they totally like call out different words, right? And I don't necessarily want labor called out because then that's just weird. You look at my list and you're like, did you go into labor? Are you having a baby? Did somebody go into labor? Are you doing hard labor? Are you laboring in the yard? What are you doing? Labor Day. There we go. Labor Day. So we just squish them. It's okay. They're going to go a little bit beyond my my margin there. Not my margin because I still have the half sheet, but they're going to go a little bit beyond where I've been writing, and that's okay. Okay, Labor Day. Roster's annual Labor Day barbecue. Friends of ours have a Labor Day barbecue every year. And I just added an extra word, yum, right there because I had a little extra space, right? Oh, I went to an estate sale with my friend Karen. That was the same day we went to Swiss Days. Oh, yes. Sam, again, started Journeyman's School. So for the last year plus, he's been working as an apprentice electrician, and now he's pairing that with Journeyman's School. This is the next one, the 9/11 20th anniversary. Okay, so now it was, what did we say? The 21st day, the 21st year, the 21st century, right? Was that it? Is that what we said? I think that's right. 21st day. I'm gonna write that down. 21st day, 21st year, 21st century, right? Hope that's right. Because if not, oh well. 21st day, month, year, century. 21st day, 21st month, 21st century. I forgot the 21st year. No, 21st day, year, I forgot. Right? But not the month. It's not the 21st month though, right? Because it can't be the 21st month. I think I did it okay. And if not, it's okay. Right? Okay, next one. Let's see. I feel like I need another sticker word to break that up. I will not do it with this one. Let's see. What could go right there? Oh, I know. My sister. My sister was here for a visit. So her name is Laney, Laney. Now this color would go really well, but it's kind of like poopy split pea soup. So I think I will not use that color, even though it would match. Oh, not that one. Let's go with, I think let's go back to this guy and see. Maybe we'll pull out that teal. Do I have the teal? I don't think so. We just have that kind of brownish color. So I'll use the brownish color. Let me go back to my stickers and see. I wonder if the winter, I need a good teal. Oh, okay. Winter or bold? Oh, I bet bold will have a good one. Let's look at bold. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll do that one next. Okay, so Lainey. Lainey came to visit. And let's see, what time are we looking? 11:30. All right, so probably what I will do here, friends, this first one, or not the first one, this list, the about last month list, usually takes just a little while because I do a lot of explaining about what we're doing. And then I also, you know, it just takes a while to put together. So I will, after I place these, come back and finish this one up. And then sometimes some of you hang out. We just still kind of all hang out and chit chat and play. So we'll see. But I don't want to spend forever on this list with you guys because you're like, okay, get it. Enough already. Enough already. Lainey. Her real name is Elaine, Alane. But she's always, since she's a little kid, that's been her name, Lainey. Lainey and Lael and Lainey. You know what? I'm going to have to ask my mom. I don't know where her name came from. I know where mine came from. Lainey in town for a visit. Whoopsie. Okay, so I will come back and finish this one later. 91. I graduated college in 91. I think the winter, 91. I was like a 4.5-year. Okay. I think. All right, so here we go. That is my first list, and I'll come back to that one. Second list. Second list is Halloween costumes, okay? So this was really fun. Yesterday, I sent a text to our family. So my husband, Nick, our older son, Jack, younger son, Sam. And I said, what are some of your favorite Halloween costumes? What are some of your favorite things you've been for Halloween? And we had a really fun chat via text back and forth of different, things that we all enjoyed. It was very easy for me to pull photos for this. And I want to talk about that for just a second. So this is a 5x7 photo, also printed on the Epson PictureMate PM400, same exact printer. Only difference 5x7 instead of 4x6 because it also prints 5x7s. So sometimes I like to include 5x7 photos. Sometimes I like to include 4x6s. So this is a 5x7. Was really easy for me to find photos. The reason it was so easy was because for years, I've been scrapbooking for years, 25, I think. I've been taking photos forever and a day, even before that. And ever since I started, I have always organized my photos this way on my computer. I have by year, but then I also always have a folder that's called holidays. And within that holidays folder, I have a folder for every year. And no, within the holidays folder, I have a folder for every holiday. And within the folder for every holiday folder, I have all of the years. So it looks like this. It looks like this. So we start with holidays. Then we go to like Halloween. And then we go to like 2000, 2001, 2002. So then we have here Christmas. And then all of the years like that. So that way of organizing photos for me, when I know that if I want to look for a particular holiday, I don't have to search every year and then search within all of my photos for every year. I just now go to holidays, go to Halloween, and then open up every year and find costumes. So that's what I did. That was a really easy way for me to find my photos. You guys, organizing your photos is 9/10 of the work, right? Because if you take a lot of photos, even if you take them on your phone, figure out a way on your phone to move them into folders, because it'll make your life so much easier later when you're looking for a photo. That's probably the biggest thing that helped me when I started. Now, if you don't organize things that way and you always have a hard time finding your photos, it's really easy to go back and, well, shouldn't say really easy. It's easy to do. It's just going to take a lot of time, right? Okay. So I am doing a 2-page list. Now, sometimes when I work with a 5x7 photo, remember when we talked about the width of the inserts that I use is called standard wide, 8.25 by 5. So if this is 5 and this is 5, the deeper I get into my insert, the wider this seams, right? So what I'm going to do, even though this is one photo and I printed it out as one photo, I am actually going to cut it. This template, the way that printer works and that little software that I talked about, you can choose to include white borders around everything or not. So in this case, I did the little white border. But what I'm going to do is bring in we'll talk about costumes as we're going. I will bring in my trimmer and I am going to trim this in half. Actually, I'm going to trim it a little bit more than half. I have just now a really tiny white border. And if I do that all the way around, that will give me a little bit more room on that page. So everything, whoopsie, everything's not so squished. All right, there we go. There's one. As Leslie pointed out earlier, yes, that is a picture of me in a swimsuit top. I do not look like that anymore, sadly. I'm working on it, but yeah, not sure that, especially now at my age, that you'll ever see me like that again. That's why we take pictures, right? So we can go, oh my gosh, look at back then. And I remember back then I thought this was wrong and that was wrong and I didn't like this and I didn't like that. And now you look at it and go, hello? What I wouldn't do to go back there, right? Okay, so now when we go like this, I have a little bit more room to work with, right? It fits now. And if I wanted, I could do something like that or something like that, which is what I may do. So I can do a little bit of something there and something there. All right, so Halloween costumes. Some of our favorite Halloween costumes. We are out with all of this. Let me just put all of this away really quick, you guys. This is another reason why these pouches are awesome, because then I just throw it all back in and it's all together. Now, eventually I will have worked my way through, I'll be like, okay, I've used this collection quite a bit. I am now going to take it out of its pouch where it all lives together and put it into maybe a fall pouch, right? Where I, have other fall collections that I've kind of worked through. But while something is brand new to me, I like to keep it all together because that's generally how I work with it. Okay, get these here. Even if I have saved little pieces like this, because that little strip I might want to use for something. So I even pop that in there. Sometimes, especially when I start to separate things out, I have another container where I store all of my 6x8 pads, so that then after I've done working with the collection, then I know, oh, I need a pad, some paper. Then I go to the 6x8 pads container. That looks like that. So that's one of them, and it just has 6x8 pads in there. All right, now I'm going to bring in this. This is Spooky Nights, also a Simple Stories collection. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It is such a fun Halloween collection. I love Halloween collections. They just make me so happy. Oh yeah, we don't want that. That's all the packaging from when I took everything out. All right. Ta-da! There we go. Okay, so two-page list. I think what I want to do here is I don't think that I will adhere. I don't know, maybe. I may adhere directly to the insert just because my photos are kind of it. But over here, I had pulled out some of the paper. The paper in this collection is so good. This collection I also have linked on the description of my website. You know why I like this one. Team Candy Corn all the way. That's cute too. But I think I probably want something, that's good. I will be trimming this down and then also doing something on top of it. So orange maybe. This one is super cute, but when I put paper on top of it to do my list, I think we'll lose a lot of that. So not sure, I don't know, like it though, because it's good. This one I will be using for a future list. Bet you know what that one is. My favorite things about Halloween. And that's just a paper from the pad. Isn't that great? Makes it super easy. I love it when they do that in their collections, in their 6x8 pads, because that's half of my list. Done. Super easy. I'm not going to use that green yet. So cute. The ghost, right? Oh, that's a cute one too. All right, so I think it's going to be either of those two. I think either of those. Okay, for my base. So when I add pattern paper first, in this case, I was working directly on my insert, right? Directly on the notebook insert itself. So I didn't add any paper. But a lot of times I like to add a background. So last week, both of those lists had a background using 6x8 paper. So that's what I am going to start with over here. And I'll cut both of these until I know which one I want to use. But I think probably needs, I think it's going to be that one. Actually, I'm just going to make it be that one because I will use stickers and die cuts and things to really kind of add in a lot of color and more Halloween theme. So I mentioned that my inserts are standard wide, so they're 5 inches wide. I like to have a little bit of a white border around the entire page. So I always cut down to 4 3/4 or 4.75. That then gives me, a flat edge there. All right. That then gives me a little bit of a border all the way. This is going to keep driving me nuts because that's out. All the way around, little white border all the way around my list. I like to round the corners. Since the corners of my insert are rounded, I like to round the outside corners. So just grab my little corner rounder there. What I'm going to end up doing is I am going to work on my list on that paper instead of trying to keep messing with this thing. And then when it's done, I will come in and adhere that. And prior to next week, I will come in and stitch this up just because it's going to keep bothering me. Or stitch it back in, probably put a cover on it too. Okay, one more thing for my list. I need some white. White cardstock, 8.5 by 11, that's what I always use. I use 8.5 by 11 because inserts, my standards are 8.25, so all I have to do is trim off a tiny bit like that. Very little waste. And then they're 5 inches wide, so I can do that and that. Again, very little waste, all right? That is if I was taking that piece of paper and basically putting it on my entire insert to work with, which I don't do that very often. Those of you that think you want to make your own inserts, 8.5 by 11 is perfect for that because folded in half is just a little tad bit wider than the inserts that I use, than like a standard wide. That I just ordered from Amazon and it's linked in the description. So since I'm going to put this here, I will trim it a bit. And what works really well with this background pattern is doesn't matter what I put on top of it or how much I cover it up. You can still see that it is, it's spiders. So that is 3 3/4 by 7. This is funny. I'm always so close to that. And then I always remember after I cut, oh yeah, usually when I do this, it's usually like 3 3/4 by 7. And that's what I like. Okay, that should do for our trimmer for a while. So let's get this beast out of the way. And our adhesive. I think I missed something, and I think you guys are explaining, so thank you. About making your own covers, yeah? Oh, Dearly D just did. Oh, Kylie, I'll have to go look at it. I'll have to go look at it for sure. Because it's always interesting to see how different people do things, right? I never claim to be the expert. I'm just like, well, this is how I do it. All right. So remember how I said I always like to outline, right? Well, in this case, if I outlined that spider paper, it'd be like, well, why did you even do that? Because you can't really even tell what you did because there's already black there. So here I would just outline this guy. Just because again, oh, I know what I'll do. Ooh, I have an idea. Okay, let's pretend I did not. Let's pretend I did not stick that down yet. Let's very gently peel this up. Oh, gently being the operative word there, right? So I think what I want to do, because it was so much fun to do last week, I am going to ink the edges of this. And I ink edges on other projects all the time, especially when I do mini books with some of my mini book kits. But I've never really done it on lists until last week. So that is what I'm going to do. I think that was orange. No, that's not orange. That is Tattered Rose. Don't want to do that. So I am using my little ink blending tool and using a foam blender, a domed foam blender. And let's look at a couple things. Let's look at, I think I want to do orange though. Because, or maybe, I don't know. I might want to do this. Let me grab out my swatches, my ink swatches. That to me looked like it would totally go with Halloween, right? But let's see what it really looks like. This is a good idea, a perfect example of why it's a good idea to swatch your inks. If you have different inks, you can always see what it looks like there, but looks like there and what it really looks like in person, not necessarily the same thing. Okay, perfect. That will go great with this kind of Halloween. So I am going to use that. I think that will work. But let's just take a look at, Twisted Citron, this is called. Let's just take a look to make sure we're going to like it. Oh, yep, I think that'll be fun. So I will I'm going to ink the edges. And I'm not using orange because my plan is to use orange in another way. So this is Tim Holtz Distress ink, Distress Oxide. This color is called Twisted Citron. I have linked at the bottom of the video, bottom description of the video, an article, a really good article that I found on scrapbook.com about the difference between Distress Oxides and Distress inks. And so if you use inks or you'd like to start using inks and you're not really sure what the difference is, because for every color he does, there's 2 versions. There's a Distress Oxide and there is a Distress ink. And they both have different properties. I am not a mixed media person, so I can only tell you what I like about them based on how I use them, not how they should be used if you're doing mixed media or layering or incorporating water or anything like that. I primarily use my inks for inking edges and also for stamping. And for those two purposes, I prefer the oxide. Jesse, and you know what I was thinking this morning? You asked that in the Facebook group the other day. And I saw it and I thought, oh, I need to answer. And then I didn't. So thank you for asking again. I prefer the oxides. The oxides are a little bit of a juicier ink. They are a pigment-based ink, and the distress inks are dye-based. I think I got that right. So let me just grab some like this. Okay, these are the exact two, same color, worn lipstick, but one is oxide and one is ink. Like I said, personally, I prefer an oxide based on how I use them. If you're super interested in the differences in the properties, some you can layer on top of each other as long as you let them dry in between layers and they don't mix colors, right? So sometimes, you know, if you put like an orange and a purple on top of each other, you end up with a really muddy brown. Unless you were going for that, which you probably weren't because you probably just used brown, it's important to know the different properties of the two inks and when you use them. But generally, that's not what I do. Although I did learn something from my friend Vicky, you on your blenders, if you're using blenders, I have different little blenders for each color as I use them. She said you are not supposed to use the same blender for the Distress Oxide and the Distress Ink. So if I had both Distress Oxide Twisted Citron and Distress Ink Twisted Citron, you don't want to blend those because their properties are different, and then something will weird happen if you're using them for mixed media. And that's all I know because I don't use them for mixed media because I like my fingers clean. No. All right. So with that, when we ink like that, and this one I inked quite a bit more than I inked last week. So last week when we inked, see, I didn't necessarily have as much ink around. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Lauren. Oxide will contaminate any other type of ink pad. And those are the ones I like, the juicier ones. So I did a little bit more inking on that one, so it almost looked like that my white is mounted on a piece of cardstock. So when you are working, if you like the look of having something mounted, the inking like that is a great way to get that same effect without having to have like a bazillion different colors of cardstock or pattern paper or what have you. All right. When I stamp, the other thing that you'll see, this right here, this is really why I like a Distress Oxide. You get a really nice, juicy, opaque coverage, right? And that's how I like my stamped impressions to be. I like them to be full and nice and just super crisp, and I don't like a lot of stuff seeing through. That, for me, when I stamp with an oxide, that is the effect that I get, and that's what I like about them. So, no right or wrong. Clearly, they make oxides and inks. It's just me personally what I prefer. And now look at how much more that pops. That pops so much more now on that paper with that green there, right? And Twisted Citron, that's a fun one, especially for Halloween. All right, so next up, I need a title. And this is Halloween costumes, but I think I would like to focus more on the Halloween side than the costume side, maybe. Let's see. There, I don't think those are the journal bits. So in the journal bits, I don't have anything that says Halloween. Oh, spooky. That's good, right? I don't know, spooky. If spooky I like spooky, but, well, not really in real life. I don't like spooky. I like that word and I like the design. No, I like the way that particular spooky looks, right? I don't like spooky. I do not like scary movies. Oh, I used to love them when I was in high school. I loved scary movies when I was in high school, but not anymore. I do not like green eggs and ham. No, I don't. I was gonna say I do, but no, I don't. All right, not that. This looks like a little graduation cap to me. Doesn't that look like a Monsters graduation cap? Like that's a little tassel and it kind of is shaped like a graduation cap. All right, so cat is cute. Another kitty is cute. Ghosty, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe that goes there. Let's take a look at our other side because this is going to be our other side. This collection does not have a sticker book, but it has puppy stickers. Usually what happens is, seems like, although it depends, it's hard to tell with Simple Stories because sometimes they do puppy stickers and a sticker book, but on some of their collections, they don't do a sticker book, only puppy stickers. And this one, they don't do a sticker book, only puppy stickers. So let's look. That could go there with maybe these are trinkets. I pulled out, they're puppy stickers from Bella Boulevard. They're listed, linked in the description of the video. So I pulled out the green and the orange and the black because I thought maybe they could be fun to use. Not so much the flowers, but definitely the stars, and I thought maybe even the arrows. So we may kind of decorate around that. But maybe, what if we did this? And maybe this goes right about here. That would be cute there. All right, now I need to commit though with the placement of these guys. So let's commit. Let's commit. Oh my gosh, Joanne, you love scary movies. I used to love them when I was in high school. Oh my gosh, not now. Oh my gosh, not now. I have a very vivid imagination. And that usually kicks in when my husband is traveling for work, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, what was that? Oh my gosh. Like so bad that if I'm watching TV and like a commercial comes on and I can't hit the mute button fast enough, I have to close my eyes and then plug my ears until it's over because it'll just send my mind reeling in a not good way. All right, so this one will go up here, right? Oh, actually, before I put this one down, I should probably put the other one down because that way I know I'll have enough room. Get out of here. That's going to drive me nuts. While I'm working, if you guys list with me and you haven't been to the Facebook group, the Lail by Mail Facebook group, it's linked in the description as well. Or you can just go to Facebook and, you know, search for Lail by Mail. There's a page in a Facebook group. Oh, I did that wrong. Golly. That's what I get for trying to talk and think at the same time. There's a page and a Facebook group. But in the Facebook group, a lot of times I share my lists there and other people do too. So last week it was fun. We had a number of people that shared their favorite foods list in the group. It's fun. I love it when you guys share like that because then I get to see what your lists look like. You guys always get to, well, not always, but most of the time get to see what my lists look like, but I never get to see yours. So if you want to pop in the group, and even if you're not listing, still pop in and say hi. It's a private group. You just have to say, hey, I want to, will you, you know, click to join or whatever you have to do, and then I will let you in. But like I said, it's always fun. Several people shared their list last week from their favorite foods, which was always fun, just to kind of get to know people a little bit better. All right, there we go. And now this needs an outline too. Let's see. Yeah, hate things jumping out at me and being scared. I loved them in high school though. Ooh. Go see the Friday the 13th movies. But it's so funny because you're like, hello, don't walk into that creepy haunted barn. And you hear like chainsaw noises coming from it. You know Jason's out there. You know someone is there like getting people. Don't walk into the barn. Don't be stupid. Although, I think I've told this story before. While we're working, I'm going to tell this story. It'll be a bit of a squirrel moment. But when I teach in person, this is what I do all the time. Because you guys are working. If I'm teaching in person, I'm not working with you. I'm just chit-chatting while you guys are working. So, all right, so that works because now I pulled a little bit of that green over and look at the green in the skeleton costume. So I've managed to tie that green in. Now, I will not be tying any of that pink in because that just isn't going to happen. All right, so we need something to go up here, but maybe we will wait. Oh, Boo could be cute. I don't know, maybe Boo. Let's just do Boo. Oh yeah, we'll do Boo and a little ghost. How about that? And we'll put the ghost right here. Such cute little ghosts. These are the puppy stickers I'm using. All right, so Boo goes here, and our little ghosty goes right here. Alrighty, there we go. And then that's just so cute, that little cat. Maybe kitty cat. What else? Well, we could go with the traditional, no, that's too boring. The owl is super cute. No, I don't like, I think it might be the cat. I think it just might be the cat. And then, I don't know, maybe Spooky. Spooky would be cute too, but I don't know. This one's super cute too, but it will take up too much of my list, that haunted house. I don't know. I could do so many lists for Halloween for sure. So we'll be doing Halloween list at least once a week, every week while we're together, because I love Halloween. All right, so we need a title, right? Oh, you know what? Spooky won't work here because I'm going to have a title. I think that I'm going to stamp the title. So let's get out some alpha stamps. Oh my gosh. Those of you that follow Carrie Bradford and know my love for all of her stamps, oh my heavens, she just came out with some really good ones that I ordered because I just do that. Okay. Oh, Tracy, the summer one of the Halloween movies came out. I worked as a counselor. Oh goodness, that's crazy. Okay. Diane. Oh, Diane. I think, Diane, you just posted about that in the group, didn't you? That your daughter, your 18-year-old, right, was going to her first like away trip. Was that you? I think so. Okay. Okay, so I need some stamps. So Halloween is kind of long. So actually, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull out some alphabet stickers as well. And I will make Halloween be in alphabet stickers. Maybe. No, actually, I won't do the orange because that is going to be, I'll stamp orange in costumes. So I need black. That one. Because that's nice and small. So I think that will go together. Because costume is shorter than Halloween, right? Oh no, they blew a tire. Oh, it went, oh my gosh. Well, you know what? That's all part of them like learning, right? That's all part of their experience. Oh, I'm sure that was, yeah. Oh, it was scary too, right? I'm sure it was scary too. All right, let's get our ruler out again and our tweezers. Okay, so while I am pulling Halloween, I will chit chat about my little story. Oh yes, and the story relates to watching a scary movie. And I think even there's commercials that totally make fun of this. Or I think the movie Scream, I never saw it, but I think it also totally pokes fun at this. When people know that nefarious things are happening with nefarious characters in scary movies, that they're scared out of their wits already, right? They know something's happening and they're scared out of their wits. And they go into the barn that looks all scary and they even see some blood everywhere and they still go into the barn, right? Which, no, they shouldn't do. But anyway, they do because that's the movie. And that's what makes it, I guess, very scary and suspenseful. And always, 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 you'd watch those movies and be like, duh, don't go in the barn. Don't go in the barn. Or the movie about the babysitter that was at home and someone keeps calling and finally the police call back and they're like, the call's coming from in the house. And then she doesn't leave the house or whatever, right? Okay. But I have a real life story of that. Well, kind of. All right. Guess what happens? I do not have a lowercase o because my sheet is, you can tell I like these. So for now, let's pop in an uppercase O and see if we like it. Every once in a while, we like to, sometimes out of necessity, but sometimes because it's just fun in design, to do that. Switch it up. So Anyhow, back to this. So this was right after my husband and I got married. So we have been, oh yes, oh, perfect. Duh, use a 0. That's funny. I just didn't get down to the bottom of the page. So actually I could use a 0. The other thing you could do is pull out the inside of that. But let's look at the 0 because the 0 could be cute. But I may just go back to, I might just go back to the big one because it's kind of fun. But that 0 is perfect, right? Or here's the inside of the 0. Actually, that looks like a little eyeball. I think I'm going to go back to the big one though. I think it was kind of fun. All right, so Nick and I had not been married very long. We each had, let's see. When we got married, I had a condo, he had a house. We sold my condo and moved into his house. And he is very handy. He had worked on fixing it up and doing lots of things to it. One of the things I did not like about it, I am going to have another issue. I also only have one lowercase e. So this is actually going to work well because I'll do another uppercase e. It was a split entry. So the master bedroom, we ended up making in the basement downstairs instead of upstairs, just because that's where the biggest room was. So you'd walk in, if you went upstairs, you'd go to the main floor. If you went down the stairs, you'd go to the basement. Oopsie, what am I doing? So the bed was right below the window. And the window was at like floor or ground level, right? So the bed is below that. Nick back then was doing a ton of traveling. And when I moved in, I'm like, fine, but I want an alarm. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, there's no N either. Wow. I need to grab another of these sets because clearly I use them a lot. So if we're going to do that, I will probably add one more. Let's add the A and have that be capital too, uppercase too, so it doesn't look like so weird. If I wanted, I could pull in different black letter stickers and really mix it up, but I won't do that. So I said, that's what, if I want an alarm system. He's like, but, and I'm like, no, I want alarms. Okay. And so we installed an alarm, and I don't know, a couple weeks later, he was out of town and I'm asleep in the middle of the night, and it is like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever. And the alarm goes off. Now, in the middle of the day, if you have an issue with your alarm and it goes off, it's very jarring. But let me tell you something. Alarm goes off in the middle of the night, wakes you from a dead sleep. It is so loud. And it's also scary because you're like, what in the world? So I jump out of bed like, oh yes, Pam, you wait. Just you wait. So it all turned out okay. So I should probably preface it with that. I don't want anyone to... Wanda, we are working on and welcome. We are working on a list about favorite Halloween costumes. And I'm telling a story. So alarm goes off. I'm by myself. I go tearing out of the bedroom to go up the stairs, and I look in the other part of the downstairs, in the other part of the basement, and the back door is wide open. And I'm like, oh yeah, run up to the top of the stairs. It's funny because back then I worked for a cell phone company. I have no idea where my cell phone was now that I think about it. Yeah, no idea where my cell phone was. Oh, I know. This was so early in the day, was it? No. I was going to say I had a car phone. No, it was my cell phone. No idea where it was. Probably in the car. It wasn't attached to our hips like the way they are now. So go upstairs, go tearing up the stairs, and go to the kitchen because there was still a phone mounted to the wall in the kitchen. This was a long time ago, like 26 years ago. Phone mounted to the wall in the kitchen. No, I try to turn the lights. There's no lights. There's no power. I pick up the phone, and the phone is dead. Oh, Cocoa Pop 2021. Welcome. Nice to have you. I'm glad you popped in and said you were new. All right, so turn the lights, no power, pick up the phone. The phone is dead. All right, so let's recap. Back door wide open, alarm going off, the middle of the night, I'm by myself, no power and no phone. Okay, right? So let's rewind back to our discussion before when you're watching that scary movie and you're like, don't go in the barn. Or you're like, get out of the house, get out of the house, get out of the house. What do? I stand in the kitchen sobbing because all logic is gone at this point. It's all gone. I can't move. I can't function. I'm convinced someone is in the house and they have come to get me and it's all over. And so I just sob. And then what seemed like an eternity went by. You know what I'm going to do? I was going to stamp. I'm not going to stamp because those aren't as small as I would like them to be. So let's try something different. Because I think it'll make for a very blocky title for us. So let's try, oh, you know, we're going pretty whimsical. Maybe let's try those. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. So we're just playing. And now I have you all on the edge of your seats, right? This is the way I get you to keep staying because you got to hear the rest of the story. Okay. So I panic. I'm sobbing in the middle of the kitchen. Don't even know. All of my wits are gone. And I don't know. It seemed like an hour went by. Probably, I don't know, a minute. I pick up the phone again. And now there's a dial tone. And I turn on the lights and there's lights. So I've got that going for me. And I call 911. Ma'am, is this an emergency? Ma'am, you need to settle down. We can't understand you. Someone's in my house. Someone's in my house. Okay, we'll send police over right away. Did they tell me to leave the house? No. Now again, I'm like in a panic, so I'm not thinking leave the house. I still stand in the kitchen waiting. So the police come. And the police get there. I don't even know how long it took. Police get there. This is one of my favorite sticker fonts. This is Florence from Bella Boulevard. These also on my website. It's just a really fun, kind of whimsical. Okay, so police get there, knock on the door, and there's two of them. And they say, what's going on? And I say, alarm went off, except nowhere near this calmly. Alarm went off, no power, no lights, someone's in my house. Okay, so one of the guy goes, okay, I'll go check the perimeter. And he's, outside checking the perimeter, doing his thing, I guess. The other guy, now, mind you, neither one of them says, ma'am, why don't you go get in our car? Ma'am, why don't you go to a neighbor's? No. So the one in the house starts walking through the house. He has his gun drawn, right? He has his gun drawn. And what do? I follow him. I'm behind him every step of the way because there's someone in my house I know. And there's no way I'm going to be like down somewhere else where the guy gets me before the policeman finds him. So I am behind the policeman as he's walking through the house with his gun drawn. And we're going through every room. We get to the bathroom and the shower curtain was closed. So literally this is like out of the scene from a movie. He's standing there with his gun like this, and here's the shower curtain, and he goes, wah, and moves the shower curtain back, and he's ready for someone to be like hiding in the shower. We go through the whole house, right? Nothing. So after we're done, and there's no one in the house that we verified, the guy that was outside checking the perimeter comes back in, he goes, nope, all clear. And I know I follow him, right? So I don't know what's worse, that I follow him or the police let me follow him. The policeman let me follow him, right? I don't know what the heck's worse. So I do that, and we all convene back in the kitchen. Okay, ma'am, everything's fine. No one's here. I'm like, but the door and the light, the power and the phone. And he goes, so here's the deal. Tonight, there was a really big storm, really big windstorm. So my first thought is that, and this is him talking, my first thought is when the wind picked up, it blew the back door open. So probably, and just so you know, Sarah, when I teach in person, this is the entire time. I'm like, okay, so now cut this paper like this, and then I'm telling stories the entire time. I just can't do that as much like this when I'm working because it's too hard. Where was I? Oh yes. So the wind must have blown the back door open because whoever went out the back door the last time probably didn't quite latch when they shut it. okay. And then when you came up the stairs to turn on the light, I'm like, uh-huh. Well, probably that really big storm, remember, that blew the door open? Well, it probably knocked out the power for a minute or two. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, now for the phone. So when the alarm goes off, the phone company or the alarm company seizes the phone line to call the alarm company to notify them or whatever. And I'm like, what? And he said, they didn't tell you that? And I'm like, no. So all of that, no one was in the house. All one like big perfect storm, literally and figuratively. One big perfect storm, and all of that happened. And then the police leave, and then I call Nick, my husband. It's 3 a.m, and he's out of town. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't go to sleep. And he's like, so is everything fine? I'm like, well, yes. And he goes, then why did you call me? It's in the middle of the night, I'm sleeping. And I'm like, oh, you go away. So anyhow, it was all fine. But the moral of the story is, we'll tie it back to Friday the 13th and Jason. The people that stand there or go into the haunted barn anyway, even though they hear the chainsaw noises and there's blood everywhere, sometimes their wits are not about them, because sometimes that happens. When you get in a panic like that, that happens. So moral of the story, still don't go in the barn when you hear the chainsaw and see the blood everywhere. But also moral of the story, sometimes don't judge other people and their reactions when you're not in that situation, because that was a perfect example of me absolutely losing my mind and was really silly. I never should have stayed in the house or followed the policeman with the gun. Okay, and now that's our lesson learned for the day. Okay, so now something right here, I feel. Oh, I know. Yes. Ooh. So I don't know. It's cute. I love this washi, but I don't know that it goes. It's a little bit more blue than a light minty color than I think I want, because I have a little bit there, but maybe oh no. All right, so let's talk about why these two so far are a no for me. This one is a no just because I don't have a lot of that minty color. I just have a little bit right there, and I think it'll just be too off. This one I love. However, when it goes down here, that's a lot of cross lineage going, right? There's a lot of lines here. There's a lot of lines in that plaid, so I don't think that one is it either. But this could be super cute, this little star. That's why it's always nice to have options. American Crafts, with their washi, with their collections, they always have, I think, 7 or 8 rolls. Simple Stories has 3, and now with their new collections coming out, upping it to 5. So that'll be fun. The other reason this works, well, obviously the black and the orange, but also with stars on it. And look I already used a little star over here. So everything is kind of tying in together. The only thing that's not going to really tie in, but that's okay, is the pink and then the red, but a little bit of red there. All right, so Halloween costumes, and I already know right here, that's going to be a prime spot for, oh, probably a little pumpkin, right? Probably that little punky. That one or this little fat one. I like this tall one. Oh, okay, one more thing. Now, where did I put those? Where did I put those? Last week, oh, it's in my Indian Summer pack, maybe? Oh, yes, okay. So last week with Indian Summer, new company, as far as new to me in terms of what a new company I have now in the store. Pretty Little Studio. Last week we used Indian Summer, but I also remember when I ran downstairs and pulled out some of the punch out labels. I think we might want, actually, no. I was going to say punch out label here, but it's too long. Too long, because it's now almost the width of my washi. So not there. We did use it last week, one right there. So it worked really well right there because I kind of layered other things on top of it, but not there since I already have the washi. So none of that. I love a good label so much that I also have this. In fact, my Pretty Little Studio labels need to go in there too. All my labels. I don't think you guys have seen me pull this out before. Another item that I use to store things, and this is how I think, right? We've talked about a couple of different ways that I think about storing things, because when I think label, I don't want to have to go through every collection I have. I just want to go to one little spot that has labels. that little guy, but no, that's too small. If I had a bigger circle, that might work. Ooh, a black could work. Wait, I know. There's an orange in here somewhere. Oh, nope. Not that. There's an orange. These, okay. Blast from the past. Anyone remember this company? Scenic Route? That's from my heyday. I worked there years ago. Years and years and years ago. Scenic Route. So I have lots of these label sheets. But there was an orange one. Where? Oh, okay. So that's what I was thinking, but I don't know. That's probably... Oh, wait. Hold on. These are the journal bits. Okay, let's look at the journal bits. Sorry, Scenic Route labels. I think you are off to the side now because I just thought of the journal bits. And there will be something in here I can use, I think. Yeah, see, okay. Oh, I know who that is right away. Susan. Yes, Scenic Route, best grid paper ever. Yep. Absolutely. It's actually the basic, well, I shouldn't say that, never mind. Okay, so I think I will use one of these. The green, oh yeah, no green, there's too much green. So we'll use this guy. These are from the journal bits from Spooky Nights. So we'll do that. And then I know exactly what I'm going to do because just one little pumpkin is not quite enough there. So if we put this little pumpkin here, maybe at an angle, and then we use this little ghosty. Maybe like right there. All right, there we go. Okay, let's add a little bit of our adhesive here. Hi, Tracy from Dallas, Texas. You placed 2 orders so far this week after finding my channel. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love that you found me. Let's talk about finding me for a second, you guys. This is something that, and Tracy, if you want to share how you found me, that's very interesting. Coco Pop 2021. I have. So Coco Pop just asked, can anyone tell me if she's done a video on how to make your own notebook inserts? Yes. I'm going to say April or May of 2020. So here on my YouTube channel, I think that's what it's called. I think it's making your own inserts. If anyone sees it and wants to pop it in the chat, awesome. But I will actually, when we're done, I'll pop it in the comments of this video as well, or in the description of the video. Back to, oh yes, Tracy. Yes, super interested in how you found me. So here's the thing, you guys. I always forget. Usually a couple of you are very good about reminding. Please thumbs up the video. Thumbs up the video, the interaction in the chat, and then the comments on the video are super, super important. And that tells YouTube that there's a lot happening. And when YouTube thinks there's a lot happening, then YouTube says, you know what? Maybe we should recommend this video to other people that are maybe searching for traveler's notebooks or searching for this or that. So that's how lots of you find me here on YouTube. So that's important, and that's an easy thing that you can do. That is a free, painless, I was going to say painful, painless way to help support me if you would like to help support me. All right, so now let's list, right? Favorite Halloween costumes. So let's just talk about these really quick. This year, I'll hold these up. This year right here, Sam, this was a long time ago. Sam is now 21, almost. Hi, Christina. Hi, Irene. Can anyone tell what we are there? That duct tape, this was a homemade costume, white t-shirts, duct tape, the letter P is on our shirt, on our shirts. And we have something around our eye. So we did that for a Halloween costume one year. This one, we were together, but our costumes weren't together. Nick was Clark Kent. So that's super easy. Like if you have a male or a female in your life that needs a super quick costume, I think Walmart. Yep, Jess, we were the Black Eyed Peas. That, for those of you who don't know, Black Eyed Peas is a music group. But went to Walmart, found a Superman t-shirt. And then he's got a dress shirt on, dress slacks, a tie that's undone. And then I think I went to the dollar store and bought some black readers and just popped out the lenses. So he was Clark Kent, super easy. We had just come back from Hawaii. I was a little Hawaiian hula girl. I will tell you something funny about that. This is total squirrel. Black-eyed peas, yes. Not black eyes, yes, black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas, that's funny, Jess. So we just come back from Hawaii. We knew we were going to a costume party a couple days after we got home. We're in Hawaii. I'm like, oh, I know what I'm going to buy. Years ago, we bought a ukulele for our kids, so I already had that. I thought, I'm going to buy one of those little like hula outfits. Mind you, I'd been doing CrossFit for about 2.5 years, so I was willing to walk around in a bikini top at a party. I would not these days. So I bought one of those little Hawaiian skirts and then the little like Hawaiian coconut top, you know, with the little coconuts. I thought, oh, this will be great. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm pretty fit. That'll totally work. Oh my gosh. Got home and put on those little coconuts. I don't know, maybe a 2-year-old it would work on. So if you've ever thought, oh, that'd be fun, I'm going to wear coconuts for a costume party. I don't know about you, but for me, yeah, coconuts did not work. So I had to pinch it with a swimming suit top anyway. So that's what I was there. This one, remember at the beginning, I said that I was texting my family what were your favorite Halloween costumes, and then I started sending them photos. This, I'm like, Jack, what in the HE double hockey sticks did I let you be for Halloween, right? You kind of have to let your kids do what they want to do. Giant wig with lots of hair, a trench coat, and then some weird things tied around his waist. No idea. This, when I said, Jack, what was your favorite costume ever? Even though that's Sam in the costume, not Jack, banana. And then other assorted costumes. I love this age when they're like super cute and they would still let you pick the costume. Like, look at little Sammy. He was a Power Ranger. And then we get to like this crazy age and then this age where he wants to be a, I don't know, whatever that is with the big giant sword anyhow. So some of our favorite costumes. And that I enlisted the help of my family, right? I asked, hey, what are some of your favorite costumes? Because some of them I forgot. And there's one in particular that I really, really, really wish I had a photo of. And I will talk about that in a minute when I'm on my list. So I want to incorporate these a little bit more because I think it'll be a fun way to incorporate a little bit more color in my list. And I'm going to do that in between the words or in between the costumes. So this will kind of be another run-on list. It will be similar to, where? Probably here, the one that's out. Nope. Hold on, I will show you. It will be similar to, gosh, it's been a while. Oh, this type of list where I'm just listing and then I put a little sticker in between each of the costumes. So, yes, and you know what's fun about these? Lynette, they're actually epoxy stickers. So, or like puffy stickers. Sorry, that's what I meant, puffy stickers. So they're not as like hard as epoxy or enamel. Okay, so let's come back to this. Now I also have my puffies. So if I wanted, I even have like some little stars that I could intermix, but I don't think I have enough of those. So I'm gonna use those. And those are trinkets, those are linked. All right, where is my list? Here's this list and here's this list. So curious friends, what are some of your favorite Halloween costumes on your list? Things that you've been, things people in your family have been. Hi, Dawn, first time here. Hi, I'm so glad you said hello. I love it when we have first timers and you hop right in and say hi. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the crazy Saturdayness that occurs here. All right, let's see. So if I'm using, I could use a mixture of stars and hearts. That could be fun. I think I will start out with one of these little greens. Other thing I love about, and definitely not the case with black because black is black is black, but with all the rest of the colors, and I think I have 7 or 8 different colors, tonals, right? So you have lighter, that's kind of that twisted citron, right? You have a couple different variations or tones of the same stickers, especially with orange. You have that super bright one and then some kind of regular orange. That's fun too. All right, let's start with, how about one of these little guys? Right there. One more thing to stickers like this. These types of stickers are always one of my go-tos just because you can have a color that will pretty much work for everything. these work great for Halloween. This would be great for spring. This could be great for spring or summer. So anytime you can have your basics that work for lots of different themes, I like that because I think it just makes a product like that go a long way. All right, so share in the comments. Friday, I don't know what, Frida. Oh, okay, Lynette. I know Frida. I don't know Friday. I'm like, Friday, what? So I got a little confused in what I was seeing there. Oh yes, Christina, don't really have Halloween. So I forget about that. Halloween is very much a US centric holiday, right? I know a lot of other countries don't do Halloween. All right, so I was a hula girl. We saw that. Oh, I don't want the dot in between. We want another sticker in between. So let's do, oh yes, see, and this is fun too because they also have arrows, stars, hearts, and flowers. So here, actually, I'm gonna do a black one here. Let's do a little black heart, a star, sorry, not black heart. We had Hula Girl. Nick was Clark Kent. Oh, Clark Kent, in case you don't know, Clark Kent is Superman. Well, he's the guy, plain Joe, I don't know, guy that turns into Superman, right? Before he's Superman. The kind of nerdy guy that works at the newspaper. All right, so Hula Girl, Clark Kent. Oh, this was my most favorite ever. The Village People. You guys remember the Village People? Village People, the band, right? The musical group, I don't know, whatever you call them. Let's do a black heart, sure. No, I need a green heart. Oh, I don't know, I'll do this little guy now. Okay, Village People, the ones that sing YMCA. Thank you, Nancy, the alter ego of Superman. Celia, yes. The mild-mannered reporter. Oh, yeah, Jack's costume. I have no idea. He doesn't even know. I'm like, Jack, what were you? I don't know. That's what he wanted to be, and that's what he was. But I'm like, what the heck are you? Yes, Village People. So we went with another couple. We went to a couple Halloween parties. This is long before we had kids. So 4 of us, we each dressed up as one of the 4 Village People. If you don't know Village People or the song YMCA, Google it. One guy was a policeman. One guy, very flamboyant policeman, Indian, with a headdress, construction worker, and what was the other one? Police, construction worker. I don't remember the 4th one. Anyhow, I dressed up as the policeman. Nick dressed up as the construction worker. My friend Sherry went as the Indian and, oh, the cowboy. Yes. Her husband, Scott, was the cowboy. Thank you. Oh my gosh. So what we would do, we went to a couple of different costume parties. We had a little boom box with us and YMCA. Before we went into the party, we would see somebody outside and we'd say, hey, go in and turn off all the music so that people are like, wait a minute, what? And then we'd go in fully dressed as the Village People with the YMCA playing. It was funny. Yes, Village People. That's one of my favorites. I, one year, was a nun. We'll just do that there. I was a nun one year. My husband, Nick, this is very irreverent, so nobody get mad. Nick was, well, it's irreverent for some people, I should say that. Nick was the angel Moroni. So we are not LDS. In the LDS religion, there is a very prominent angel, I guess, that they put on the top of some of their temples, Angel Moroni. He's basically a guy, like a man, but an angel, I guess, in 100% gold. So all gold, even a gold trumpet, and that's what Nick did. We were talking about this last night. He put on a sheet, and then spray painted, he said he had a gold sheet, put on a sheet, spray painted his entire body, including his hair and face, in gold spray paint or, costume paint or whatever. And then he was the Angel Moroni. That was, he said, one of his favorites. But he said he was getting gold out of his body for a really long time. Okay, we had a ninja. We had the Karate Kid. we had a giant banana. That was Jack's favorite. He instantly said, the banana. He got a lot of use out of that costume. Banana. All right, so I think what I'm going to do now, friends, I will stop doing this list for now. Heather's Crafty Life said, this is my first time. How do you get your page into the insert? So what I do is let's talk about this for a second, guys. So when I first start working with a brand new insert that is blank, I just start going, right? I just start working directly in the insert. I just start working, going. The deeper I get into the insert, sometimes a little bit harder it is to work directly in the insert, especially on the left side of a page, just because there's all this that has happened before it. And the deeper I get, the harder it gets. So many of my lists, I am doing something like this, where I have a piece of background paper and then some white cardstock, and I am doing my list on that. When I'm done, all I do, no, this is a whole other thing, so this page fell out. So all I do is take a little adhesive and I just glue it right on, or adhere it right on. Like that. But sometimes it's just easier to work, even when this hasn't happened, sometimes it's just easier to work outside of the notebook, especially the more that starts happening on this side. Power Ranger, different colors. Yep. Yeah, I think it's funny, back in the day, and I think they probably still do it, but Costco used to have the greatest little kid costumes that were like all the furry ones. We had so many different of the little furries. You just zip them up in a one-piece thing. Oh, that reminds me, there was a frog. And then you just pass them down to nieces and nephews and things like that. Okay, Cocoa Pop. Okay, I'm going to write that down real quick, and then I'm going to remember to come back to it. You guys help me to come back to it. But Cocoa Pop just asked, does anyone have any tips on what to journal if you don't do anything with your life? All I do is keep a daily journal, but I want to do more with my traveler's notebook. So here's something. Really what we do here on Saturdays is we list, right? We list my perfect day, and this is a wish list, right? So you could do a list about your perfect day, family traditions, your favorite sitcom characters, summer favorites, your favorite things about summer or a season, jobs you'd love to have, jobs that aren't for you, things that my dad says, favorite cereals I had when I was a kid. So a lot of these are really kind of going back more to memories, like memories maybe you had in your past as opposed to things that are happening now. What I would encourage you to do is if you go to my website, just go to lailbymail.com and click on blog and look for lots of lists like this. You'll see the pictures of different things I've done. But on all of those list posts, there are links at the bottom to our lists of lists. So the different list topics that we've done over like the last year or so. So that'll give you some really good ideas. Your favorite songs, your favorite colors, different things like that. So it doesn't have to have photos. Most of my lists, many of my lists do not have photos at all. So I hope that helps a little bit. But you guys, if you, those of you that are watching, if you want to pop in the chat and if you have some advice or input to give to Cocoa Pop, then I would love for you to do that too. A McDonald's drink costume. Fall down. Oops, I spilled my drink. Oh my gosh, your little boy. That is hilarious. He was 3. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Wizard of Oz, 1 year, youngest nephews were toddlers and the monkeys. Seriously, so fun. Oh, here's another one. I am teaching at a very small virtual retreat in San Diego. Not virtual retreat. I'm teaching at a very small retreat in San Diego in a couple of weeks, and I have to dress up. So I'm looking for really good, easy ideas, right? What fun ideas. Okay, so this is, I will come back to this at the end and finish, but I want to move on to the next list, just so those of you that want to see all 3 lists or get through all 3 lists, we kind of get through them, and I will come back and finish this one and this one. All right, the last list The last list is what makes me me, okay? Or what, yours would be what makes you you, but you would call it what makes me me. So on this one, and let me think what I want to do here. I already know one of the things I'm using. Where did they go? Okay, I know what it is. I just don't know where they went. They're buried here somewhere. Oh, here they are. These new, oh, Bob Ross. Right. Oh, you know what, Lynette? I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, that is it. I just need to go find a wig. I'm gonna do it. I love it. So easy. Okay. If anyone is listening, because I know there are Anna. I haven't seen her today, but Anna is usually at those. Oh, and guess what? Who else? Shirley. Anna and Shirley, or anyone else that's going to be on that, at that. Now you know what my costume is, so don't tell anyone, because you don't wear your costume the whole time. Everyone gets their costume on at like 6 o'clock on Saturday night, and then it's really fun, and we take pictures. So, but that is totally doable. Love it. Thank you. I knew you guys would come in handy. You always do. A Y2K bug. Oh, that's fun. Hi, Terry. All right, so for this list, I am going to use, these are new. I just added them some point this week. I'm calling them vintage fairy stickers because I didn't really know what else to call them. They are these cute, like, look at these cute little people. And their little, like, hats. They're just like vintage children in their vintage clothes, and then someone has added little artwork, like the little wings and their little scepters or whatever, and their little crowns. I just thought they were so cute. Oh, I think that one. That is it. So just fun little, are there little boys in here? Oh yes, there's little boys too. That looks like a little lord or something, but super cute, the little look on her face. So I just thought these would be really fun, and they're stickers. So sometimes you're making a little list. Oh, look at those two. I haven't opened these yet. Those two little girls, like hand in hand. That's darling. Depending on how long you have been crafting, this was a bit of a style a number of years ago. I'm just looking to, oh my gosh, look at her though. That totally looks like that could be me as a little kid. So let's see. Maybe. I think that one, because I wanted to use, and you know what, here's the thing. Both of those girls have blondish hair, but that doesn't matter. I could use, you know, a dark haired one. Doesn't really matter. Back in the day, this was a style where you'd have these little like paper dolls of the little kids like that. And then you'd use pattern paper to make their wings and their little hats and things. But these are just kind of done for you. So I thought those were super fun, kind of a throwback. So I wanted to use salvage patina, and really I think I could probably use salvage patina with either of those, but I think that's going to be it. That's going to be her. She looks kind of like she has a little bit of an attitude, right? She's kind of like cockeyed, not cockeyed, whatever, her hip is cocked. I don't know, whatever you say. She's at an angle and she's kind of resting on her little scepter or whatever that piece is. So that's the one I'm going to use. All right. So I am going to use, I think I need to do a pattern paper there too. So let's see what we want to pull, because I haven't really thought about that. Let me look here in what I have out. Looking, hang tight. All right, this just happens to be here. So this is Bungalow Lane. Now, you'd look at Bungalow Lane and go, Lil, what are you thinking? I don't think that'll really work. But I see something that's here that I think could totally work. I'm thinking maybe that pattern, that little cute little pink flower. So let's see. Where is it? Did I already use it? Well, I may have already used it. Let's see. Well, that could work. I don't know. This could work, but for me, this has a totally different look than that. This is kind of more like patchworky. So I'm not going to use that. We're going to keep looking. We'll just keep looking at our unless, oh, look there it is. Okay. I think that will work, but I'm just going to check one more spot, friends. Where did that go? Oh, this. Let's open this up. Little girls. So Leslie, it's not from a line. It's just something that I picked up and brought in the store. They're linked in the description of the video. Yeah, no, it's not with a particular collection. Oh, okay. So where somebody said reminds them of Max and Where the Wild Things Are. So our kids were just outside of that. Okay, this is cute, the blues, but then I think that's going to be a little bit too much blue. So ooh. I think this is it. That rainbow. This is from Flourish, from Maggie Holmes. This is an oldie but a goodie. All right, that is it, right? Oh, I don't know. This one's a really old carousel. That paper, love. So this is going to be a single page list. Oh, that's kind of fun too. Oh yeah, no, this is it. That one. All right. Sometimes more is not necessarily better. Sometimes it's not necessarily better to have more choices, right? All right. So that's what it will be, this kind of fun little gold scallop. That will go there. So let's cut this down. Six by 8 pads. When I am using pattern paper in my traveler's notebooks, I pretty much use 6 by 8 pads all of the time. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see, was it Wanda? No, who asked? Who was asking? Hold on. Oh my gosh. The rod in it, like Carol Burnett from the Gone with the Wind skit. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Okay, really quick. When she asked about, oh yeah, okay, Cocoa Pop. One thing that I would recommend, there is a video that I recorded, the very, very first one I did about Traveler's Notebooks. Well, kind of. It is called Intro to Traveler's Notebooks. It's here on my channel. In that video, I go through kind of what they are. And then I go through, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 different ways that you could use Traveler's Notebooks with examples. I show you examples or I talk through them. So can't believe I forgot to mention that. That would be a great place to start if you haven't watched that video. If any of you haven't watched that video, I think it's a good one to start with. It's a great place to, even if you've been doing this for a while, or even if you've been using Traveler's Notebooks, I still think it's a good jumping off point or refreshing point, because I go through so many different uses that maybe you haven't thought of. Maybe you're like, I love a Traveler's Notebook, but I want to use it for things besides list making. I'm looking for my cardstock, my white cardstock. Where did it go? That's a really good one to watch, I have to say. While I'm getting my white cardstock, no, I just lost that. While I'm getting my white cardstock and cutting this again, let's talk about that. Where all this started. So these end up being 375 by 7, I think we said. Let's see, that's right. So rewind to March of 2020, when all of a sudden we're in lockdown. We're like, holy cow, what in the world is going on? Literally, it's the first week. And we're in 3 days of lockdown, and then we have an earthquake in Utah, which is very uncommon. Very, very uncommon. So we were reeling, right? The whole world's reeling. What in the heck's going on with the virus that starts with a C? So I'm like, holy cow, what can I do? What can I do to help to take people's minds off things? Because I sure know I need to take my mind off things. And so I thought, you know what? I know know a lot about traveler's notebooks. I'm very passionate about them. I'm gonna do a video, and I recorded it, and I told people about it and said, hey, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do a premiere. It won't be live, but come watch. And so people watched, and then a lot of people have watched since then. And when I did that, I thought, you know what, I'd probably do a couple of these just because I like to talk a lot and I didn't quite get everything covered that I wanted to get covered. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little pink. Ooh, I'm going to see your little pink cheeks. I think we need some pink there. So let me grab, I think, ooh, maybe warm lipstick? Let's look at warm lipstick. So I know a lot about traveler's notebooks. I really like them. And so I'm going to do a couple of videos. So I did, look at, perfect. Okay. So I did, I think 2 videos, and then I went, oh my gosh, I really like this. And now people are hanging out with me. And so I want to do this more. And then been doing that ever since. But it was seriously all selfish because it gave me something to do every Saturday when normally I travel a lot and teach a lot and I'm very social. And then all of a sudden, all of that came to a screeching halt. So it was very selfish of me. I say that. It did a lot for me to take my mind off things and to give me something to look forward to and to socialize with people this way. And so we've continued to do it ever since because it's fun. But I feel like I have to bring that up because if you watch that video, I'm a little stir crazy. Well, let's be honest. I'm kind of always a little bit like that, but yeah, it was filmed that very first week of that. You know what? I heard someone say recently that, and it was on a Facebook Live, but she said in her video, she does not like to use the virus word that starts with a C. She calls it, I think, Rona, because there's so much controversial opinion either way, right? Either way, regardless of what you feel about that, that the social media, including YouTube providers, will flag. They definitely flag. If you've ever noticed, if you maybe are doing something on Facebook and you write that word in your post, it has a little thing that pops up for people when they look at your post saying, for more information about this. Or I think they're just trying to be factual about things because people can say whatever they want. Anyhow, so I've heard that some people will not use that word in their videos because it gets flagged or maybe it doesn't get shown to people or something. I hadn't heard that before, so I thought that was interesting. All right, so there's our little technique again where we're basically, it's almost like we had pink cardstock, right? It's almost like we had pink cardstock that we are just adhering right to that. But we didn't need to have it because we have our little ink. All right, so, and I will use that ink again. Look at her, she's so cute. Okay, let's go ahead and put this down. Let me look at comments really quick. Wanda. So Wanda just asked a really great question. Wanda said, how long does a collection usually stay available? Wanda, I have been scrapbooking, paper crafting for 25 years. I have worked for 3 different manufacturers during that time. Simple Stories, Basic Gray, and Scenic Route. And I have worked with many other companies during that time. And I can't even tell you the answer to that because it depends. It depends on how successful it is, how in demand it is. Because some things literally these days, you have to buy it when you see it, including me, if I'm bringing it into my store. You have to buy it when you see it or it is gone. That is happening frequently with a number of the Simple Stories collections. And it may not be the entire collection, but happened very quickly with the 6x8 paper pad from Country Harvest, Simple Vintage Country Harvest. That is gone. I mean, if you can find it out there, they're sold out. So if you find an online store or a brick and mortar store that still has it, I'm sold out. I was able to get a few more in, but they're gone again. So I guess the moral of the story, you know, when you're at Target and you see a purse that you like, or you see a t-shirt, or you see, I don't know, a globe or something, whatever it is, and you think, oh, I like that. Oh yeah, but I don't need that. I'm not going to get it. And then you leave and you can't stop thinking about it for 2 days, and you go back to Target and it's gone. And then you go to their website and you search every other Target across the country and they're completely sold out. If the time is right for you in terms of your finances, I would say don't wait, whatever it is. And whether it's from me or anyone else. If you see something that you like, I just get it, because you never know how long it's going to be out. And it's just weird that way. It is just weird that way. So I know that's not a very good answer, but that's the reality of things. All right, I'm looking for, just don't mind me with all of the things that are coming out now. This one, since I'm not using a collection, this one I'm just kind of free forming, I don't know. Where are my, oh gosh, if you guys could see all the, oh, this is the one I wanted. That one, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, this could be fun though. Look, while I'm there. All right, so let's see. Let's just make one of those things work. Let's make it work. Ooh, that's kind of fun too, the clouds. Yeah, I could probably, guys, I have so much washi, like thousands of rolls. I've always loved washi. Always, always, always. Thousands of rolls, literally. But it could be worse. I could have worse habits, right? All right, so let's just pull out a couple of those things and see what we like. All right. Oh, yes. Okay. So we can already tell that will not work. That really fun Heidi Swap cloud washi will not work because totally different color. But this could work. I think this might be fun to bring in. This little pink stripe. Let me, while I'm getting that off, look back at the comments to see. Oh, I love that. Terry said these video and live Saturdays have been a port in the storm. Big love for this community. Yes. I agree. Port in the storm. That is a great way to word it, Terry. A port in the storm. I know, it's just, I tell you, it's been a really good thing for me personally. As far as always giving me something to look forward to, especially in the early days of COVID. I was trying not to say that word. Especially in the early days, where, we're just like, oh my gosh, it was just a place. And for me, it still is. But these Saturdays were a place where I could come and it would feel like normal, right? It would feel like, hey, I'm just hanging out with my friends. We're just all hanging out. We're friends, we're hanging out, and we're not all together in person. But you know what? We could be. Well, we weren't. But if it wasn't for this darn virus that starts with a C, we could all be together. You know what? Okay, I don't like this pink. The pink is not happening here. So off that goes. I think we are back maybe to this. And all right, I won't use, so this is the polka dot. It's a gold foil polka dot, but I won't use this and this together because the scale, there's just too many little things. Oh, I know. What about, okay. Just so you know, guys, this is what I would do if you weren't here. I would be pulling out all the things and I'd be talking to myself out loud. Oh, wait, I know. What about this? And then sometimes I'd be saying that out loud and sometimes I'd be saying it in my head. Darn it. Now I can't find it. I don't know what happened to, it's a black grid. I just swear I just had it. Okay, what else should we do? What else? What if we, let's do this little camera. Maybe this would be fun. This little camera. All right, so we want this to go here. We're just plain. Wanda, it's a good answer. Every time I find a 6x8 pad, I buy it, especially on clearance. You know what? It unfortunately is not, it's not the best answer. It's probably not the answer that we all want to hear, but it's reality. So it's just, and you never know. And I tell you, as a manufacturer, you really never know what's going to happen, because you will think that a collection is going to like kill it and just sell like crazy, and it doesn't move as fast. And other times it's a sleeper. Other times it is a sleeper. And unfortunately, when you're ordering product as a manufacturer, well, even as me, I never know when I'm bringing product into the store, what's going to sell really well. I think I do. Things that are going to sell really well, or things that are going to take a little bit longer to move. We just don't know, right? We just don't know. All right, there we go. That's the start of the list. Now, I need my title. My title, I need a big me. A big me, because it's all about me. No, that sounds bad. In this list, it is all about me, right? Your list is all about you. And I'm going to try something that I haven't played with before. Well, it's stamping, but I'm going to do a little technique that I haven't played with much before. Lord only knows I have it all. So hang on. I'm just looking for something. I'm going through all of my stamps here in the back because I didn't pull them out ahead of time. I'm just looking still. Hang tight. Hang tight. Oh, come on. I know I have like a ton of them. All right, just chat amongst yourselves really quick. Where is that? I'm still here. In case you think you're lost, you're not. I am. Just looking. Come on, Lale. Oh, here. Okay, that's why I couldn't find them. That's why I couldn't find them. All right. I just put away my grid washi. That's funny. Because I'd still like to use it. I had it in my hand, didn't I? The black. I thought I did. Well, I'll look for that in a minute. Okay. So, I have pulled out some Carrie Bradford stamps. These are, the name of this font is called Thick XL. And, oh, this is one of the little pouches. Scrapbook.com has these, like, kind of harder plastic pouches in a couple of different sizes, but this is what I store my stamps in. This is why I couldn't find what I thought I was looking for, because I put them both together, which was smart, because one is the outline and one is the non-outline. I'm going to use both of these stamps together. And I haven't done this before. Lord knows I have lots of them, but I've never done this before. So we're playing. And sometimes you guys know what happens when we play, we learn. I learn, right? We learn. So let's see what we're going to learn. Let's see what we learned today. I need 2 ink colors. Ooh, all right. So what I need, now this is going to be interesting because I think I need to use a dye-based ink. Okay, I'm just thinking because I'm using, one is going to go near another one, so I don't want to mix them. This is where Lael is not the mixed media expert versus pigment. So dye, pigment. And if you want to know more about that difference, then link in the description of the video, all the way at the bottom, an article from scrapbook.com, because I am not the one to tell you. All right, so I'm going to use the letters M and E of both of these stamps. So what I want to do first, actually, I don't know what I want to do first. This one is an outline and this one is solid. So I'm going to do a slight offset. So I will stamp the solid in the pink and I will stamp the outline in the black. But because I haven't played with this before, I don't know which one I do first. So we'll play. You could probably do either one first. Hi, Val. You are watching from New Mexico with your mom and Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Val. Hi, Mom. So, little tidbit. Michelle is one of my neighbors. We live in the same neighborhood. And I know Michelle totally independently from Valerie, and didn't even know that they were sisters until one day, not long after we'd move in, because we're in a brand new neighborhood. Val, I just met her on a virtual retreat that I was teaching at, and she said, hey, I think my sister lives in your neighborhood. And I'm like, oh, what's her name? She said, Michelle. I'm like, oh, okay. And I said, what does she look like? She's blonde. So seriously, for a while, I was walking around my neighborhood. I'd see blonde people and go, do you have a sister that scrapbooks? And they'd be like, no. And then I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, oh, Michelle, because I had forgotten that she told me that her sister's name was Michelle. So anyhow, hi. Ooh, New Mexico. I bet that's fun. Let's see. Okay. One thing, yes, Christina just said, this whole C virus, and I shouldn't, it's not that, it's the It's the effects and how our society has had to change and adapt. It's brought a lot of people together online. It has brought a lot of products online, making it accessible for those in different countries, which Christina is in, which she's thankful for. Okay. Oh yes, Don. If you don't talk to yourself while you're crafting, you are not a crafter. Even if you're not talking out loud, still in your head. I talk to myself all the time. When our little cat was still alive, I would just talk to the cat. Well, really, I wasn't talking to the cat. I was really talking to myself, but I didn't feel like I was talking to myself because I was talking to the cat. I would tell myself, right? Poe, what do you think I should use here? Yeah. All right, so let's try this. These are the solid stamps, so this is what I'm going to stamp solid. Oh, this little book I keep pulling out, this is just my notebook that I keep handy. This just things I stamp in. I always will test when I stamp. I'm always test first. And the reason I do that is so that, okay, what did I do with the, I'll hang tight. I need that. Oh, whoops, that bounced. One thing you have to be careful with your oxides, they stay pretty juicy still, look. That is still pretty juicy. So you do not want to drop it and hit your sweater. It did not do anything to my sweater, I don't believe, but yeah, I think I'm okay. I used the pink one. Okay, where's the pink one? Oh, here it is. Oh, look, that's funny. I'm like, I haven't used this one yet. I'm so confused. This one. Or actually, you know what? I'm not going to use the pink. I want to use the teal. I am going to use, well, the salvage patina. I'm going to use salvage patina for my tile. I think I'd like to pull in a little bit more of the blue instead of the pink. All right, so now this is going to be the solid. Oh gosh, now, so Valerie, is Michelle watching with you? Now Michelle's going to get a feel for what I do. So many of my neighbors are like, now what do you do again? And usually that's because they walk by my house and see like giant stacks of boxes going out, orders going out. And they're like, what's going on in there? All right, so here we go. Let's test stamp this first. So test stamp, I always test stamp for a number of reasons. Number one, you make sure you're spelling it correctly. Now, I know this is only a 2-letter word, so you don't have to worry so much about that. But the longer your word, you want to make sure you're spelling correctly. You also want to make sure you're spacing, that things are lined up correctly, that your spacing is good. So I'm good there. The other thing is when you have a brand new stamp, a stamp that you have not stamped before, it's always a good idea to prime your stamp first. Terry, that is salvage patina. Oh, it's a good one. It is a good one. This is one of the newer ones that he's come out with this year. Oh, speaking of, if you did not know, he's announced he has a new one coming out, I think in 2 weeks. So, yes, we'll all watch for that one. Oh yes, so if you have a brand new stamp you have not stamped before, it's always a good idea to test or to prime it first and get it ready for stamping. There's a couple different ways that you can do that, I guess, but I always just do it the same way. I just stamp it, and it kind of gets it ready for stamping. You see that has a really nice solid coverage of ink. That is one of the things for me that draws me towards a distress oxide. I love that really solid. I call oxide like a juicy ink. It's really juicy and nice and opaque, and that's what I like about them. So that's what I use. All right, so there, we have that one. Now to do the offset, let me open my little stamp block again. So these little stamp blocks that I use, there's a set of 4 in that little pack, and those are on my website as well. Those are good. I use those all the time. So I'm going to grab another little block for my offset, and where's the M? Uh-oh. Dee. All right, friends, this is when you usually tell me where it is. So I'm looking here, because usually if I look forward, sometimes in my iPad I can see it better than Ay, 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 ay. Okay. We have a rogue M. Our M has gone rogue. Does anyone see it? This, Joanne is asking, so that little device, that is made by a company, not a, okay, company, a business, small business, like me, small business, owned by I think it's owned by a husband and wife. I know it's the wife, and I can never remember her name. I think starts with a B. No, so I need the other M. I'm using, so these are solid, and these are outline. Is it on the floor? I know, we need this. We really need this to work. I need this. I need that stamp. All right, we'll keep looking while I'm talking. So this is a perfect example of, what do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention, right? Hold on. Oh, come on, you M. That is, okay, I can't do this without the M. I cannot do this without the M. Oh, now I've got green. Heavens, this is what happens when you don't clean up in between. Oh, thank you, Brianna, Nicole. Brianna, I knew it started with a B. So she, and I've just read this, I don't know Brianna. I think she was maybe been on once or twice, just popped in. So she was using ink pads and using, I don't know, I think maybe a blending tool or something. And if you are blending like that, this little guy, when it's on your table, if you're doing that, it moves around a lot. So that's just a little stand, and it holds the lid there, and it holds that there. Also, hopefully, if it's on your work surface, you're not kind of getting your hand in the ink or other product in the ink. It is inkstandshop.com. Now, they're very popular. Her husband, I think, still makes them, but her husband made these for her. Like the first time, she's like, oh my gosh, I need this, and he whipped up this handy invention. So every time I was going to her website for a while to order one, they were always out. So I actually found it. My friend Jen Shurkus, JENNSHURKUS, Jen Shurkus, like circus, but Shurkus, but not totally different, not with a C. That didn't make sense. All right. Well, I'm just going to do it with this, and then we'll play, and then I'll have to add that later because I have no idea. Did I pull it off? I pulled it off the sheet, right? I did. I pulled it off the sheet. Golly. Okay. Oh, I found it on her website. So I actually ordered it from Jen, but you could try inkstandshop.com. And what's really cool, now there are 3 different styles of those. So, look at that. Oh, I'm going to show you. It'll blow your mind in a minute. Look at, see that black thing? Magnet. Magnet. Yes, thank you, Terry. I know, I took it out of the pack. So, that works for your little, oh, that one's not quite right. That works for some of your rectangles. Let's say some of your rectangles. Oh, look it! There it is! Okay. Hello, where has that been? I know it hasn't been there. Anyhow. Okay, well, we're happy now. Oh, then there's even the little square one. It's right there. I know, right? Craziness. Yikes. What did you do today? Oh, I watched a lady look for her stupid M stamp for like 20 minutes. All right. That's not quite straight. So, that's the problem. Oh, the little square ones. So there's the little squares. They have it for that too. But it's kind of, yeah, they magnet together. Oh. All right. I'll get this straight one second here. Okay, so the whole idea when you have stamp sets like this, let's see. Veronica, I did miss your comment twice. Oh, under the archival block. Is that what you said? It was under the block? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay. All right, this one needs to be re-inked. So I'm gonna have to really press down hard. When I say re-inked, you can buy re-inkers, like liquid, and re-ink some of your stamp pads. This one I really need to re-ink because it's getting super dry. All right, so now the idea, outline stamp and a solid stamp. Let's see. You can offset it a little bit or you can do it right on. So let's just try to offset. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Like I said, I haven't done this before. I haven't played with these before, with the whole outline thing. Okay, look it. That is fun, isn't that? Have you ever seen that effect and gone, how did they do that? It's two different stamps. But that's kind of a fun offset effect. So I like that, and that's going to be awesome for my list. So my list is what makes me me. And so I kind of have two me's together there, me and me. So what makes me will be small, and then the me will be big. All right. So lots of times we have to play, right? We have to play. So we know we like something. We have to make sure that we're going to like what we're doing, or we need to experiment. Maybe that's what I should call it. We need to experiment. Oh, I didn't do those right. Duh, there we go. We need to experiment. Don't mind me. We need to experiment to make sure, wow, that we like what we're doing. Even if we don't like it, right? And my friend Vicky talks about all this all the time with mixed media. Even if you don't like what you did, this part of the play and learning is a big part of what we do, right? So how do you know if you're going to like it if you don't try it and play? I always tell my kids, you have to date a lot of people before you find the right person, right? Because how do you know what the right person is until you know what the wrong person is, right? Or the wrong personality type for you or whatever. All right, so I need to have a little bit of room above. A little bit of room above to be able to write my title. Yes, Dawn, these stamps are from Carrie Bradford. They are, let's see, so this one is, this one is thick outline and thick. So thick and thick outline. And she always sells them separate. Any of her stamps like that sell separate. So, you know, you don't have to have both. But it's kind of fun to have both to have that effect. Woo! Yes, nice and filled in, which is what I like. All right, so let's put this away now. And let's do our outline. There you go. You got to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. Yes, exactly. Perfectly put, Terry. You have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. And that's what, well, I tell them, yes, you have to kiss a lot of princesses, but just kiss them. You have to kiss a lot of princesses to know which is not right for you, right? And I've had that conversation with Sam a bit lately. You know, sometimes it's just, and I am a proponent of, for my kids, and, you know, of dating people, and dating all different kinds of people, because you need to, you know, you need to know what you like and what you don't like, because you don't want to get married or get in a real serious relation. Well, I guess more so married. You don't want to get married with somebody that is not the right person for you, but you just don't know it, right? Okay. Dawn said, I love these. However, I don't have a lot of workspace, so I stack my lid under my ink. Yes, that would totally could do that. Like that, just like that. For me, I would do it that way instead of that way because I've got some ink around there, but absolutely. What's fun about our hobby, friends, and what we're doing here, playing with product, what about our hobby is you can have as much things or as little things. As few. That didn't sound right. Okay, offset. That's fun. All right. So let me just do this. I am going to move all of this aside. I will later clean this up. Always a good idea to clean your stamps and your little stamp blocks. And I just use baby wipe. Okay, so let's put those off to the side. Okay, now I need to write what makes me. What makes me? What makes me me? All right. What makes you you? What makes you you? This is a fun one to ask your family members or friends or coworkers or roommate or, you know, whatever. Your dog, your cat, goldfish. Whatever talks to you. Okay, whatever you talk to, I should say, right? All right, what makes me me? Oh, look at that, Christina, love it. Or you just stumble upon a great guy and say, I will go out with him. Fast forward 13 years, we are married. Love it, right? Yeah, everybody's story, and that's what's so cool. Everybody has a different story. I love that. Nicole, I just placed my first order from Carrie Bradford Studios because I've seen you use so many cool stamps and printables from her. There was a great picture of her on Instagram this week. Yes, Carrie is a friend of mine. She is a wonderful, lovely, lovely human being. And I love her products. I buy her products all the time. I buy it all. I used to actually years ago be on her design team. But I buy everything. Every once in a while, she'll pop me something in the mail, but, and I think that's important for you guys to know because I buy it just like you do. I just love her and I love to support her. And, yeah, I love her. I love her stamps. So I love it when you guys support her too. All right. So what makes me me? What makes you you? Good idea. Ask your people what they think makes you you. And be prepared for the answers because I asked Nick, I had my list, but I asked Nick, my husband, of course, because I was interested in what he would say. And yeah, you know, he had a few to add to the list. One thing I know I want to do right now, I'm going to date this. And I think this is really important. I always encourage you to date your lists. So October, today is the 2nd, right? Yes. October 2nd. I always encourage you to date your lists because this list, I guarantee you, would be very different if I wrote this 20 years ago or 10 years ago. This what we all used to talk about, especially in the early days of the C virus when lots of us were spending a lot of time with our families because we were cooped in. Maybe you're having dinner together or, you know, maybe you're on a Zoom or talking to people, whatever it is, ask people this question. What makes you you? What do you think makes you you? I need to ask my kids this, even though they're their own adults. I would be interested in, it's kind of an interesting question to ask people. What makes you you? Like, what makes you you? And I think there's a whole bunch of different ways it could be interpreted. But I think it's a fun one. So I want to ask you guys, what makes you you? I'm just using a little date stamp here. What makes you you? Christina. Okay, Christina just mentioned something. She said, if anyone is struggling to clean stamps, there's a product called a stamp chamois. You guys rarely see me use this when I am working on these because this is a chamois. It's just like a chamois that you would use to dry your car or wash your car. When it's wet, it's very pliable, but when it's not wet, it's very stiff. I don't like to have wet things like this around when I'm working in a giant mess like this with you guys because yes, it could be a recipe for disaster. You've seen me work, right? You've seen me lose things. Anyhow, there are a number of different companies that make them. The one that I have is Lawn Fawn. That is actually a stamp chamois holder too. So, but if you like different little gadgets, that's kind of a fun, your chamois. But you can use baby wipes, whatever you have handy. All right. So what makes you you? How do I want to do this list? How do I want to do this list? I might want to use some of the little square stickers again, not for the entire list, but just for a few things. But before I do that, I just got sidetracked. I need a word strip on here. I haven't pulled word strips out yet today. I know. Word strip stickers. Snarky. So let's find Snarky, because Snarky would be a good one, because I'm kind of snarky. Well, that sounds weird. Like sarcastic, I think is what I mean, instead of snarky. All right, so let's do that. All the things are coming out today. All right, so I'm thinking a word strip sticker maybe right down here. Let's look. But I think it needs to be black in order for it to stand out. So word strip stickers. If you have not been with me before, word strip stickers are my thing. I love adding word strip stickers, because sometimes you just need that perfect little accent and they're great. The snarky ones are quite amusing. I'm sorry, did I roll my eyes out loud? When in doubt, vacation. I may be wrong, but I doubt it. Frequently irreverent. Why limit happy to an hour? Well, that's always a good one. Where's the unsubscribe button on adulthood? Oh, this would be good. The sarcasm is strong with this one. So this is funny. When Nick's like, well, what is on your list for this? And I'm like, well, I think I have a very dry sense of humor. And he started laughing. He's like, whatever. And I'm like, no, what do you mean? Okay, but snarky in a good way. That's why, so snarky can have a different connotation. Snarky to me is kind of like sarcastic. That's how, in my book, I think of it. So, like this. The sarcasm is strong with this one. So this could go maybe... I think I'm going to cut it. And maybe it will go, I don't want to cover up too much of her little scepter or whatever that is. There we go. The sarcasm is strong with this one. There. So it just kind of, it felt like it needed a little something there. And there we go. Still not loving the camera, but that's okay. That's whatever I could find. That would work in my little side stash. All right. Time for a list. What makes me? Yeah. Yep. There we go, Terry. We found it. Jen says, 2 weeks ago, we sat around the table and asked everyone 3 words to describe themselves. In a world of social media, I value individuality over going with the crowd. Very good. Joanne, what makes Joanne? Joanne, teacher. Sarah, the holder. No, I don't think honeybee. I don't think so. Okay. So what makes me? Let me get my list. And again, this is your own list. If you want to say your brilliance, you know what? It's your list. If you think that you're brilliant, then you are brilliant. All you have to do is think it, and then it's on your list. Brilliance is not on my list. Okay. So, oh, I know. Golly, Lil. That's when I got so sidetracked. That never happens. Okay. They were in here. Where did all those little sticker books go? Oh, here they are. Alpha stickers, that's another thing. That's kind of alpha stickers and alpha stamps are always a good go-to for me because, no, that's too much. I know what I'm gonna do. I won't use stickers. I will use colored pencil to kind of highlight some words. So let's get going. Let's get going. Okay, so, first one. Blonde hair. You know where I'm going with this. Literally and figuratively, right? I always like to say I am what do I say? Like the smartest dumb person you'll ever meet. Oh, that's funny. Yes, I think I'm a fairly intelligent person, but the blonde hair is strong with this one sometimes. Yes, very much so. Let's see. I have OCD tendencies with certain things, right? Not everything. OCD and I'm not, I am not, let's see, I need to make sure I say this correctly. I'm not poking fun at OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. I'm not saying that I have it. I'm not saying I've been diagnosed with it. I'm saying that I have some tendencies where I focus very hard on, like this being exactly this way. So that's part of who I am. Only with certain things though, because other things I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Like when it comes to brushing my hair, like I start counting and then I have to do it like 100 times. And then if I do it on that side, then I have to do it on the other side like 100 times. But then I will brush my teeth and be in a hurry and not realize I've left toothpaste in the sink. So it's not with everything. Oh yes. Another one, my stories, and those AKA, they're called laylers. Laylers. That is a term that was created by some of my friends. And sometimes that's when I tell stories and they just go on and on and on. And then they've taken so long, by the end of the story, they have completely lost their punch, whatever. And then that's a layler. That is also a squirrel moment, which is the next one on my list. My ability, I don't know if I call it an ability, but that's okay. My ability to squirrel, right? My ability to go off on a tangent and go a entirely different direction. Like I said, ability makes it sound, yeah, my ability to do that. I also can be very competitive in a lot of cases with myself, if that sounds weird. So competitive drive. Nick worded that one for me. My ever present scowl. That stupid frown line that I have between my eyes on my forehead, that I scowl all of the time. And that's why that permanent line is there. I think part of what makes me me is creativity. That's definitely a big part of who I am. Another one, I am what I like to call whole-brained. That is an equal mix of analytical and creative. Whole-brained. Instead of left or right-brained, I call it whole-brained. Spreadsheets are my life. I do everything in a spreadsheet, but then I also like to play with paper and stickers and stamps and be creative and design and all kinds of things like that. Concentration line. See, you guys are so good. The concentration line. I concentrate so much. I'm constantly concentrating. Oh, that reminds me of a line in Airplane. That's one of the lists coming up. I don't know when, but favorite movie lines. The movie Airplane has so many quotable lines, but one of them, concentrate, 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 concentrate. I've got to concentrate, 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 when he's flying the plane and he doesn't really fly anymore. Oh, Debbie. Okay, I have to read what Debbie said. Debbie said, after dating a bunch and being married and divorced, I decided to make a list of what I was looking for, and 20 years ago, November 3rd, I found him. I love that, Debbie. Congratulations, right? Really, and guess what? All you had to do was sit down and make a list. See, lists are good, right? No, I'm sure you had to put a lot of thought into that, right? Because sometimes, you know, we don't think about taking the time to do something like that, right? Or what you want in a career, or what you want in a friendship, or what you want in a hobby, or anything like that. You flounder for a while, and if you finally sit down and go, okay, this is what I want, and then sticking to it's a whole other thing, right? Maybe you want to be healthy, but you know what they say, if you just want, never going to happen. Nick says, put want in one hand and something in the other. I don't know. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Because I can't quite remember how it goes. And then, yeah. Okay. So what else is on my list? I have to figure out how to word this. It kind of goes with the whole brained. This is another thing. Excel spreadsheets. That is a big one. And then this is another one. Lists upon lists upon lists. I make lists for everything. Like literally, I get up in the morning and I'm like, okay, what do I have to do today? I need to go to the grocery store. I need to send out this email. I need to, put the clothes in the dryer. And I write it all down, or I put it on not a spreadsheet, but I'll put it on a note on my phone. And I write it all down, and then I check things off. That's how I function. That's how I remember. So if I don't write it down, I'm not going to remember it. And if I don't remember it, it's not going to happen. So I'm a boy mom. Yes, totally true. I don't have any more room. Actually, if I did, I'm going rogue. I'm going to take that off with the camera. I am going to grab that's right. That was something I wanted to use. I had it out. Let's do this maybe. This one, although I had the alphabet version out. This is label tape. This is very similar to, remember back in the day when we had the little label machines? The little, not machine, it was like that handheld thing. It's just like that. It's even like debossed on the other side. So what if we do this here? No, that's too bold. That's not going to happen. I need a skinny. I need something skinny. Oh, if I had all my skinny washi. I don't have the skinny washi in hand, so because then if I put something else down here, I can write boy mom, because that definitely makes me me. Oh, how about this one? That definitely makes me me. So I'm a boy mom. All right, this little guy will work. This will just maybe be a little nice accent. And then we'll make it come down here a little bit more. Oh, it needs to pop under here. Yikes. Yikers. Guess what I did for myself today? Well, I haven't done it yet, but before we jumped on, I called and made an appointment for a pedicure. Oh, that's not the only thing I made an appointment for this week. But today, I made an appointment for a pedicure. So I need it, and it's going to be nice and relaxing. So that's happening later today. But also this week, I was very good about my taking care of the self-care things. Well, it's all self-care, right? Appointment for mammogram and colonoscopy. Nick keeps getting on me for that. And I don't know why. I'm not like worried about it or anything, but I have not had one, and I am into my 50s by a number of years. So I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but here in the US, they recommend that you have them once you turn 50. So that is happening later this month as well. See, because I had it on my list and I wanted to check it off, so I just did it. Then I could check it off. All right, there we go. Okay, there is my third list. Oh, missed Wanda. Goodbye, Wanda, if you're still here. Oh, Scrapbook Sista, yes, still has the label maker. Yeah, they're still around. They're fun. All right, so let's go ahead and put this now into our list. What time? 1:30. Okay. I probably, guys, will not. Well, let's see. All right, so this needs to go right there. This is a one-page list, right? Clearly, that's a one-page list. Not doing a two-page list on this one. And that, I don't always do a two-page list. But let's talk about something for a second, because I know some of you, that will drive you crazy. If in your book that you couldn't do that. You could not have a two-page list or a one-page list, and things did not match, and that's okay. We did that here. So those were two totally different lists. I used some of the similar products and colors, but they really didn't go together, two separate lists. But I know for some of you, that's just too hard. You need to have everything kind of go together. So in this case, if I wanted to have a two-page list, but I didn't have more to write here, here's a couple thoughts. If you have family members or friends that you are going through the same kind of conversation with, and you sit down, like if I sit down with my sons and I said, Jack, what makes you you? I could have a little section right here. What makes Jack Jack? What makes Sam Sam? What makes Nick Nick? And then I could have the things that they said or the things that I thought made them. So that would be a way to not only make a 2-page spread out of one, but that would also be another way to incorporate someone else. But one thing I might do, and I'm just going to see what it looks like. I'll at least pull it out so we can see. It goes back to one of the paper pads I pulled out before that I said, oh my gosh, so fun. Carousel. This is old. Okay. I'm gonna do it. Yes, totally could, Nancy. I could add a photo of myself. I totally could add a photo of myself. And I still could with this. I could still figure out a way to put a photo of me with this, but I have wanted to use this. I love this little paper. I just think it is so fun. So I'm going to use it on this list, and I'll just put it over here like that. But we need to cut it first. So let's cut. So I need this to be 4 3/4, and it is 6. So actually, I'm going to just get a little bit of that perforation off the top. You guys, I have had, well, and I'm taking collagen. I'm back on collagen again, so hopefully this will help. Oh, my poor fingernails have been splitting a ton lately. Like they barely start growing and they split down really low. So you will see I had to like trim them all off. So for a little while, you're going to see some raw nails, not painted because they're super short right now. We'll just give them a break for a bit. All right, so I can go 2 more here. I just wanted that to be even. And there we go, 4.75. So cute. Oh, this will put right here. I have tried to get in some of these pads and they just don't exist anymore. Because well, actually I should say, there's new Maggie Holmes coming out. And I have it on order, so it is coming out. Oh my gosh, who knows when? I mean, the shipping, you guys, all of the backlog at the ports and all of the containers and boy, that's it. And it's everybody. It's manufacturers in our industry. It is all kinds of things. Yeah, just still issues, supply chain issues with the C virus. All right, so I got to. Yeah, let me think about this. I will outline all the way because I really don't want to outline on that just because it already has kind of a pattern going on it. So we'll just outline right here. I can't not outline. It just doesn't look right to me if I don't do it. Alrighty. So here we go. We're almost done. We are almost done. And I think because we're getting close to 2, oh my gosh, we're almost 4 hours again today. I just like to play and chat with you guys. It's so fun. I will probably not continue and finish up my list like I said I was maybe going to. Because it is, yeah, it's 20 to 2. So this week I will finish up this list, and really all I have to do is just add more words to it. I might add a couple more stickers here and there. Same here. I will finish up this list, and I just need to do a little bit more decorating up here, but we will take a look at both of those lists next week. Okay, friends, and I will do something, I don't know, I'll do something else. We might have to put a word strip sticker up here or maybe a little photo. We'll figure that out. Okay. Francis, we're twinners. Boy, mom to 2 grown sons. Very good. All right, I'm flipping the camera, guys. So I'm unplugging and, ooh, okay. We're going to spin, all right? Ready, set, 1, 2, 3, spin. Okay, hang on. Usually I'm looking like a deer in the headlights at this point while I'm trying to get it to make sure we're still kind of straight. Okay, Hi. Here I am. Okay, friends, so just a couple quick reminders. Giveaway. The giveaway for, I think I said, tell me what makes you you. Tell me one of the things in the comments, so not in the chat, in the comments after the video is over, anytime between when it's over and Saturday morning next week. Leave a comment telling me what's you. What makes you you? Because I would love to know. You guys know all about me, but because I just, bleh, it all comes out. But I want to know more about you. So in the comments, tell me what makes you you. And then I will draw oh yes, I'll draw one of these guys. A little scatter, little bag, and then stamps and goodies in it for next week. So leave a comment. Thumbs up, please. If you enjoyed. We always have to drown out those people that decide to, not move along and give it a thumbs down. So we got to drown those people out. And a really quick reminder. So we will not be together the week of October 16th. Well, I think it's just Saturday the 16th and Saturday the 23rd. I will be teaching live in person those 2 weekends. So we will not be together then. But I committed before I leave, before then, I will update our 2021 list of lists. Right now it is updated through July, and I will update it through the month of September. So in the meantime, if you're looking for those list of lists, you can find them in the description of the video here, or you can just go to my website, click on blog, and any of the lists with me blog posts, you will see links to those lists at the bottom. You will also see flip through videos of, I think I've done 3 so far, of my listing notebook. So if you're always looking for inspiration, you can go just look at me flip through instead of watching the lengthy videos that we do every Saturday. Last thing, another great spot for inspiration is if you go to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, go to the Lail by Mail Facebook group. And I share some of my lists there as well, and then other people do too. And I love that when you guys share what you've done, because a lot of times you are taking a totally different direction. I always like to tell this story because this is, I think, one of the coolest things that I've seen come out of all of this. Well, there are a couple things, but this one in particular. A number of months ago, we did a list of jobs that you've had in your life. And an individual posted in the Facebook group, so she had done a list of her jobs. She found a list that her mother had made. Her mother had just scrawled down on a piece of paper lists of jobs that she had had. And this woman found that list and she combined it with her list. So in her notebook, she had a list of the jobs that she had had, but she also had a list, it gives me goosebumps, of the jobs her mother had had. Now, how many people in your family do you know all of the jobs they've had in their life? That I think is super cool. So if you're listing with us, think about that. If you're not listing with us, think about that too. Think about fast forward 20 or 30 or 80 years, whatever. If somebody stumbles upon one of your lists and goes, oh my gosh, I had no idea that those were the things that she thought back then that made her her. Or I had no idea that those are jobs that she would love to have, and those are jobs that she couldn't have or wouldn't have because they're not her. Or things like a typical day, anything like that. So that's one of my favorite things about doing what we do is we're not only having fun and being social and we're playing with lots of different products and being creative, but we're memory keeping. We are, we're basically scrapbooking, even though a lot of times we're not using photos. We are writing down words and associating memories or associating things about us, because really all of our lists almost always are about us. So we're telling our story, and a lot of times our stories don't get told. So that's what I love about what we do here. That's what I love about what we do here every Saturday. So thanks for joining me again, whether you were live or watched to replay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to see you guys next Saturday, which would be the 9th. Let me do a quick look. If I missed any questions, you guys, because when it gets to the end, I'm focusing here and I can't focus on what's scrolling by there. So if I missed anything, either leave me a comment on the video after, not in the chat because I won't see it, a comment on the video after, or you can shoot me an email. You can just go to my website and click contact us and you can email me from there. So with that said, enjoy the rest of the lovely weekend. Hopefully it's absolutely stunningly beautiful outside right now. So Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend and your week, and stay safe. And if I don't see you next Saturday, I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.